I'm super excited for today. This is Kelly Langley Cook. The cook might be familiar to you all. Kelly is, in fact, the wife of Jeff Cook of Around the Circle fame. So you are the first guest that I don't personally know. And so that's really exciting. And thank you for doing this.
Well, and I'm going to be a really different Enneagram person because I'm no scholar. But Jeff's my husband, and my best friend Jess is an Enneagram expert, and her wife is a trainer in Alabama. So I've got all this Enneagram community, and I have a lot of learning myself, but not like those folks. So I think I'm going to be a educated, normal person. Enneagram
that's
interview.
perfect.
How about that?
Well, first of all, you already answered my first question. So you're already winning.
Oh, good. That's it. Can we get how on Discords and stuff, they'll have the comments and the gold stars and the hearts and stuff. I think that's what we need on this one is
That
like
is
if
what
I
we
could just
need.
get stars in the corner that keep coming up when I do a good job. That'd be great.
Exactly. That was literally my first question. So expand on that a little bit more. My first question was, well, okay, wait, let's just talk a little more about who you are.
Yes. Yes.
Then it was all about you and the Enneagram. So what do you do? What do you want to share about yourself? We started to talk about your work and I stopped you because I was like, that's interesting. So
Yeah,
for the
and I hate to
people.
be stereotypical, but I think for an Enneagram 3, that's like it is a little bit of who you are. So,
Yeah, true.
I'm a teacher for life ever since I graduated college. I taught high school for 20 years, and now I teach future teachers. So, I teach history, and particularly my specialty is LGBTQ history in the United States from
Oh my
1900 to the
gosh.
present. That's a very
That's so
tidy
cool.
little title. And then if you want to be a social studies teacher in Greeley, Colorado, you have to go through my program basically. So I run the program of teaching social studies at UNC, and I love it. I was born into this career. It is what I am good at and what I was made to do, and I love it so much. So
That is
that's
so
that.
cool.
If people, it's so funny because I just have to, I'm going to pull back this curtain. Like there's
Do it.
Enneagram world and the people who know each other. And then like no one outside of Enneagram world or our town knows who Jeff Cook is. So he's like niche famous in the best way. I'm not famous. So it's even, I'm even not on that list. But so with Jeff, maybe people know things and I'm going to say them, but I'll just say them again because it's my life too. But we have 2 kids and 2 dogs. We've lived in Greeley, Colorado forever. I love this town. Both our kids are in college. One of our kids is neurodiverse and an economics major. The other one is in Michigan, way too far away from me, studying
That is
architecture.
so far. And
It's
that's
so
new to
far.
you.
It breaks my heart every day. I didn't know it'd be like that because I'm very independent. So are my
And you're like,
kids.
go do the
And
things.
I
So
want,
yeah.
oh yeah, and I love bragging on it. I do.
Yep.
I love bragging on his achievement. So we adopted these 2 stupid puppies a couple years ago because I think we knew that our world was going to collapse when our kids left somehow inside of us. So now we take care of dogs that like pee on the floor every single day and bite us in the face, and they're great and terrible. And so that's kind of my world. My world
I
is in
love
a little
that.
bubble, and then also
Okay.
Michigan.
I have my oldest is a freshman this year. And
Oh,
it
it
I
just,
just
right?
already
It's
I
the
can't
worst.
it's the worst. I
And
didn't
no
anticipate
one
it
can
because I was
prepare
like, we're
you. No
moving
one can
on.
prepare you. No.
We're doing big things. I cried the
Yes.
whole first week. I just sobbed. I was like, what is happening?
I was literally afraid that someone would see Jeff like holding my hand and pulling me onto a plane bawling, and they'd be like, something's wrong. That guy's hurting that woman, because I just couldn't get it together when we left
People are like,
Michigan.
oh no, her kid just
Yes.
went to college. We get
Yeah,
it.
I know. That's why I did have my Michigan mom shirt on in order to make sure people knew that that's where that was coming from. But yeah, it's you both want them to thrive,
Yeah,
and and then when they do and they leave you and they don't need you, you're just like, what did I do? Why didn't I
I
create a
know.
codependent kid that needed me so bad? And I just didn't. I created 2 like they don't need us. And that is great, I guess, but
I mean, I
not
think
for my heart.
they'll come back. They'll be,
They'll
you know.
We'll see. I didn't come back. So I think the karma is
Oh,
there. I didn't go back.
it was different times though, you know? It really
Thank you.
was.
You're making me feel so much better. So
Okay,
yeah, so
good.
that's my life and my world. And my students at UNC are my heart. Oh my gosh, I love them.
Mm,
I feel so fortunate. And I don't know if there's a statistic, but I don't think very many people like fall into their career immediately and then stay and love it. And I am so, so lucky. And so I also want to say, I guess, people, you got to keep looking for the one where you're
Yeah.
like, I love it, because it is there somewhere.
Well, and being with people who love what they
Hmm.
do is so,
Yes.
like you being that passionate about what you
Mm.
do is so important. Like when you're with people who are like, this is my thing, and you're learning from them,
Yeah. Yeah.
that enthusiasm totally infuses the
Well, good.
receiver.
I hope so. I hope
I
so. And
I
I have,
guarantee it does. It's to me, I'm just like put me in front of experts and people who like what they're doing. Those
yeah.
that's who I want to listen
Yes.
to because it
Yes.
enlivens all of it. So, okay, that's a good pivot to the Enneagram,
Yep.
which is not like your thing, but clearly you're deeply surrounded by it.
Deeply, deeply.
Did you know you were a three right away? Like, how did that part?
Three was pretty quick. So I did, I don't know how many years ago, this like 5, 8 years ago, whenever Jeff will say whenever we got started on it, but I did like the test because it's fun. It's
Yeah,
Myers-Briggs. It's what color is your parachute, right? That's very
totally.
fun.
Hmm.
Threes love to talk about themselves and know about themselves because we're very interested in ourselves. So I was really into it. And then I passed it on to like Jeff and TJ and Jess. I think, again, they may have found it at the same time. I
We're
just like
gonna
to
give you
take
credit.
credit. Yeah. And they're not gonna like, Jess is a 2, Jeff is a 1, TJ's a 9. No one's gonna fight me on this. They're
Right.
gonna just let me say what I want to say. so we looked into it and I thought it was really cool. And I think like a lot of so another podcast, if you want to have it someday, is my really complicated relationship with church, not with God. But I do think a lot of people who are in the Christian church, Christian women, think they need to be a 2 and they start at 2. It feels
Million
like
percent.
we should be a 2. So I drifted a little towards 2 and I have a big 2 side. But I
Hmm.
realized what I like to do is achieve the friendships, achieve the good friend, and to win at it versus the 2 that really doesn't need the credit, and I do need the credit. So
Right.
3 was pretty quick and it's held on pretty fast. I mean, I think I'm a textbook 3.
Okay.
I'm very extroverted. Nobody else in my family is. So I'm very extroverted. All that people energy is really huge for me. People tell me
Hmm.
who I am. I
Hmm.
have a very hard time when someone says, you are not your accomplishments. I'm going to be honest, with as much work as I've done, I'm like, who else am I? I
Okay,
only
let's
would
just
know
hang out
myself there.
here for
Yeah.
as long because I really want to
Yeah.
deeply understand what that is like
Hmm.
internally. So people say you are not your accomplishments, and I'm sure
Yeah.
your brain, there's probably a part of you that's like, sure, that makes sense,
It makes sense, but
but
I'm not interested in it. I'm actually
okay.
not
Same.
interested in being myself apart from what I'm doing,
Oh
is
my
part of it.
gosh.
Like, so, so TJ, do you think people know him pretty well too?
Oh
Is
yeah.
that okay? Okay. So TJ and I have some kind of squabbles about this because
Hmm.
as a 9 and as a friend, he always wants me to rest. Kelly, you're doing too much. You don't have to take on that committee. You don't have to whatever. And I'm like, you don't know me. Like, you don't know that that's what I want to do. And he doesn't want to do it, but I
Totally.
want to. And I
Oh,
enjoy it. And I feel very bored or even like disassociative when I'm not knitting something while I'm watching a movie or cleaning house on my day off. Like those feel like things I can punctuate that I've done them. So I it's kind of like some people you might say, who are you? And they would tell you about their family, or who are you? And they would say, like, I love to read books and this is my hobby. But for me, it's like, these are the things I've made. And
mhm.
this is my resume. That's who I am. And I do know that 3s are kind of accused of always giving you their resume. And it can
Mhm.
feel very braggy and very, and it is, we're braggy, but
Well,
it
and this is the
actually,
part I'm so, I mean, I'm interested in all of this, but per
yeah,
this right here, because as a 6, bragging literally feels dangerous. Like it
sure.
feels like
Yes.
something you should
It
not
too,
do, something that
you're
puts you at,
exposing too much, maybe.
well, yeah, I mean, if I'm like, I'm blah, 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 then someone can challenge me on that maybe, or they
Mm-hmm.
can maybe think that I don't know what I'm talking about, like all these things. And I don't, you don't have those fears.
I don't.
In fact,
I
it's
It's
flipped, right?
opposite. It's like too much because the ego can really be a turnoff. The confidence
Yes.
can really feel like too much and in your face. And I get it. But I feel like if I'm telling you my resume, I'm saying this is who I am now, you can know me.
Mm.
So I would like to be known and I would like to be appreciated for who I am. And the way you're going to know me
Hmm.
is my resume and what I do and what I'm interested in and who I'm working with. And so it is a way of being known, but it's like the three way of being known, which I do get this, by the way. The turn off of threes, I get it. And I think I'm hyper sensitive about it.
What do you mean?
Jeff and I went and judged a competition this weekend. It was called Ethics Bowl. It was adorable, by the way. All these college kids arguing these philosophical problems with
Oh
like,
my
it was
gosh.
so, and they were so smart and so wonderful. Like, truly, as
That sounds like
hopeless as,
heaven,
yeah,
honestly.
America can feel a little hopeless. They were the hope. They were so hopeful. And there was another person who was probably a three there. I know we're not supposed to do it, but we all do it. We
Whatever.
all do
We
it.
we do it.
Yeah,
Let's
we
be
do
real.
it. And I was like, oh, if I come across like this person, I'm going to be so upset about it. She's so obnoxious. She's so overbearing. She was really bossing people, but in a way that looked like friendly and confident. And so I was like, oh, do I seem like that? Do I seem
Hmm.
like that? And I really was like tuned in to not wanting to be like that, but actually knowing there are times when I'm like that and I can be an event that I'm not running and take the reins and take over. I can go get a microphone that I have not been asked to get on if I think something's going poorly and try to save it or something. So, but I don't want to be perceived as overboard and like there's a person at every conference is walking around with a clipboard, very sweaty and self-important. And like
Totally.
I have been that person. I never want to be that person again. And it's actually just all the what people perceive of it. I don't want people to perceive me as being overly controlling or bossy or infantilizing of the people I'm around because I think I'm in charge.
Okay, so you are thinking about how you're being perceived
Hmm.
and wanting to kind of get that right.
Yeah. Yes.
And also, do you feel confident to do so?
Yes. And I
Okay.
also don't feel like it's fake. So I think a lot of people think, threes put on the mask, and it doesn't feel fake to me to build myself into the person I want to be. It doesn't feel fake to me
Hmm.
to say I would like to be this, so I'm going to work to be it, or I'm going to
Okay.
craft myself to be it. So that feels genuine because I'm doing the work and I want to be that.
So I guess maybe a deeper question would be, have you thought about the kind of the why underlying all of that?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of whys. I do. I don't think Jeff and TJ do as much, especially Jeff, believe in like the childhood wound, but I do believe in it. I believe in a
Ooh, say
childhood
more.
thing that happens and it really shifts you.
Okay.
And my mom passed away in 2025, but we're pretty sure my mom was a
Oh,
three
this
when we
year?
look back. Oh no, sorry, sorry.
Oh,
I'm a historian. I'm really bad with dates. I'm just like, it's
I
so,
think that's
no,
fair.
no, no. 2015. I'm so, so sorry. It's been a long time. And
I
so
was like,
cut
oh
that,
no, Kelly,
cut
now we have to
it.
talk.
Yeah. No, my
Okay.
mom passed away in 2015, which is still hard, but
I was like,
it's a
I'm
while.
still
And
sorry for your loss,
no,
but
no, thank
okay.
you. Thank you.
No worries.
Yeah. My mom passed away in 2015. And so we didn't have Enneagram in our language back then in our family. And so we look back because I think that's a lot of figuring it out. My mom was definitely the hardest person on me, the most formative person
Mm.
for me. And if you have a three with a three, if you have a three daughter and a three mom, it's going to be tough. And
You
she
think she was a
was
three?
very, oh, I really do. I mean, the way that I appeared
Hmm.
to others was very important to my mom. She
Mm.
really liked me to have long hair and she wanted me to stand up straight and she wanted me to seem so polite. And I had to do like cotillion as a little kid. And so did my brother. And I
I live in
really saw,
Texas, so I have now heard of cotillion. I growing
yeah,
up in the Northwest, I had
yeah.
these were
I grew
not
up in
things.
Wyoming and I did cotillion. So you can imagine how hard it was for her to find that.
And she did.
She did. And she was a business owner and she, drove a Corvette when she got enough money to own that business. And she was just so self-possessed. And I saw that early on with myself, with my kids. Like we were super broke, but I found the clothes that had Gap on them at the Ark, at the
Oh
Goodwill,
my gosh.
and those things I wanted to show off my kids. And my
Hmm.
mom wanted to show off her kids. And I think that I saw my mom showing off her kids and I was like, yes, that seems right. And I'm going to do that. And I think there was part of me that wanted to show off for her so much. And I did.
Totally.
I mean, I was a big show off of a kid. And I think I just went that way. It's like, this is what
Mm.
my mom wants. This is how to get love and attention from my mom. And
Do you
so I'm
believe that you came in wired with those proclivities, though? That's how
maybe
I
some. Yeah.
think
I
about
don't
it.
know the full nature nurture thing,
How
but
would we
yes, maybe
know?
some. Right. Yeah. But I do think
Because you can imagine a kid who's like, doesn't go that way, right? Doesn't go,
correct.
who's like, yeah, this is great. A
Absolutely.
kid
Yes.
some other way about it.
Yeah, can I jump in with my best childhood wound story? It's not about me.
Of
So
course.
my youngest kid, Beckett, he's 19. He's the one at Michigan. And when Beckett was 7 or 8, he had appendicitis really bad.
Mm,
But doctors did not know it. We went in probably 4 times to urgent care. They just didn't diagnose it. They kept sending him home. And you can imagine he was in terrible pain. We were like freaking out
yeah.
and they gave him medicine. We kept waiting. I mean, I remember like laying on the floor by his bed with just my hand on him like this. Beckett does not remember that though. He remembers he's in pain. Nobody's listening to him. Nobody's getting him out of pain. He really does. So
Oh,
he had this experience and he'll tell you, like, mom and dad, I mean, now we've worked it out because he's a lot older and we've had like big discussions, but he thinks everyone's like, you're just going to be fine. It's just a tummy ache. Mom and dad aren't really listening. They're taking urgent care, but when the doctors say it's fine, or whatever, in his mind, it really was formative that nobody was listening. Then we get to the hospital at like the fourth time and they emergency take him and get that appendix out right on time. He's okay, but it was rough. And so as we've done Enneagram work and he's a 5, we really realized Beckett doesn't trust
mhm.
people listening to him about his body and maybe doesn't even trust things about his own body. And we really think it was from this moment. It may have already been there, the proclivities, but it like pushed him into this place. One of the great things about knowing Enneagram now is when Beckett is sick, we say, Beckett, what do you want to do? What have you looked up on the internet? What would you
Mm,
like? How do we handle this? You tell us. And Beckett usually defaults to let's go to an authority figure like a doctor, and I'd like to go. So even if it, to me, I might be like, well, we don't need to go to the doctor. I always say, let's go because I want him to know we're listening. We
mm,
trust him to know his own body. Like it's way more emotional for me to say yes to Beckett about going to the doctor or whatever thing than it is about me being like, we don't need to spend the copay. So Beckett,
totally.
always our answer is you look it up, you tell us what you want to do. And we've done this with college. We've done this now. He's thinking about housing next year. We're like, what do you want to do? Tell us all of the data, tell us all the things you've researched, and then you guide us. And then he likes to bounce it around. But
Hmm.
truly, I think that going through that emergency and being in pain for those days pushed him into that 5 people don't listen to me. I need to figure this out and research it myself space. And
So
that
when
is
you
my biggest one.
first
Yeah.
learned that that
Mhm.
was their read on the situation,
Yeah.
what was that like for you? Yeah.
Yeah. Like Beckett's read on it. You mean on being
Yeah, Beckett's
yeah.
read, people aren't listening to
Yeah.
me. When you
Yeah.
learned that, what did that have any, were you like, oh,
Oh,
because that would undo
it's
me until I put
huge.
myself back together?
Yeah.
Or were you
Yeah,
just
of
like, yeah, that
course.
makes sense. I don't
Well,
need to tear myself down as a parent about that.
so, oh, this is so not fair. Could I just gonna make a statement. It's not fair to be a 3 in America. It's
Say
actually the
more.
best. It's the best number for an American
It
because
is
of
the
the
best
way
number.
we set up
Yes,
society. And 6 is one of the hardest, if I may. Like I think 6
you
is one of the
may. I will
hardest. Yeah.
receive that.
So I don't doubt myself very much, and I don't doubt myself for very long. And I say that with some humility, like the one whatever I can muster, because I'm sorry that that's true, and I
Well,
can't give
here's the
that to
thing though.
everyone else.
I actually appreciate that, but what I want from you is what it's like to not
Yeah.
doubt yourself. Like I really want to hear it
Mm-hmm.
because since that's
Yeah.
not my experience,
And
but it
I
is
have
sort of,
I have good 6 friends too. I know it. I know that. So,
but it is my invitation, right?
mm-hmm.
Because I
Yes.
have that line to 3. So if you could
Yep.
just, what's it like to hear something like that from your child and not go into self-doubt?
There always is self-doubt. So threes
Okay.
go to 6 too, right? There's always worry and there's always self-doubt. I think the difference is the ability to use the cliche, reframe and shift it very quickly.
It's a speed thing. This makes sense
It's
to
a
me.
speed thing. Yeah, it's a speed thing. And that even though threes need a mirror from other people to tell us who we are, we don't need other mirrors in some ways. Like when I make a decision, I'm like, yeah, I'm right. And let me go through it really quick. I can see I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. Okay, great. Now I can absolutely and have been like, I'm wrong here. I need to fix this. And I can do that. But mostly
But
I go
that's
through a
different
nice,
than crushing self-doubt, right? Like, I'm
yes,
wrong, I can fix this
s-
is 1,000,000% different than I don't know
not,
anything. I've never known
yeah,
it. Oh, and that
I
like
know. And so I
spiral
know,
that
like,
we can do.
so the thing to access maybe is going through, by the way, this is advice I actually gave Jeff yesterday and I gave my 8-child the other day. So I think that this is a very, maybe a 3-centered thing or a Kelly Cook centered
Let's
thing. I
hear
don't
it.
know. Okay,
Let's
let's
put it
hear it.
out into the world.
Uh, I like to go through everything that has happened about a situation. And then I say, you have to tell yourself the truth about this. So,
Yes.
did you mean to be a neglectful parent? Do you love your child? Have you done everything you thought you could do? So, yes, it's like guilty. And you're like, oh my gosh, the doctors didn't listen. But then I'm like, did I take him in 4 times? Did I try? Would I ever want anything bad to happen to him? Is my heart breaking that he got hurt and that he had this emergency surgery? Yes, it is. No, I would never harm him on purpose. Yes, I did everything I could try to do. And when I can do that, and because threes tend to achieve things, so we tend to do all the things we can do in a situation, then I can excuse myself. I can dismiss it. And I have to do it actually in my job all day long because I'll have someone not doing well at student teaching. And I'll have to
Mm.
say, this is not for you. And we
Ugh,
literally have to change your major and you have to graduate with something else. And that's not easy.
no.
But I will go through, am I doing this because I do or don't like this person? No. Am I objectively looking at if they would make it in the classroom in the next 5 years? Do I have evidence for this? And so by the time I sit down with a crying teacher and I say, hey, we need to examine if this is really for you or not. And let me go through why. I
But it's
don't
very
have any emotions
logical.
left. Yeah, I don't have
Yes.
emotions left because I've done it. I've already done it. I've already gotten to the future. The future is you're going to do better if I kick you out, even though it's going to hurt right now. And not living in the present is great in some ways too, because I'm like, let's get all the future done. And
Well,
so
and
by the
then you
time
can, I'm hearing you can also, once you've done your process, you can detach from what they might think
yeah,
about you.
yes, because they're wrong. They're wrong if they don't understand what I've just done for them. I'm helping them in the long run. And I'm doing the right thing here and I'm positive about it. So I'm just,
It's
again, I
so
feel
good.
like I have to tell all the other numbers. Can I hug them all? And I'm sorry about threes, but everyone else is wrong
About
because
you.
about me most of the time. If they think I'm being mean or they think I'm
Okay.
not doing it right, that's about them and them not processing it well and them not being honest with themselves. I'm right. So hang up on
Okay, but
me
how is it
anytime
different?
that you want to.
How is it different than like a one
hmm
knows their
Oh, ones never know if they're right. I hope Jeff can hear me say that wherever he is. Ones Ones are, they want to be right. Not that
yes,
they are right. Ones want to be right. They
yes,
doubt themselves and have this inner monologue that just spins them out forever. So ones aren't right. They want to be right. That's their motivation. And so they work so hard to be right, but they
right,
doubt themselves and they have the conversation back in their head over and over again because, oh, if it's, I want to be right. So what if I wasn't because of this
right.
aspect? And like threes are like, I'm right. I thought about it.
Okay, is it easier? Because we know self-deceit is the
hmm
an issue.
Yeah.
Is it easier for you to be really truthy
hmm
about and with someone else than with yourself? Or another way you can take the question, how do you experience self-deceit? Would you even know when it's happening? Have you had to go like look for
Yeah.
it? Let's just, yeah.
That's great. So on one end, it's almost that question where how would I know? So I do have to admit that. Like it could
Yeah.
be the case that I have more self-deceit than I think.
Because by
Because how would I
definition,
know?
yeah.
I would
Right.
be lying to myself and I'd be happy to do it. So, um, there's an advantage to being 47 years old. Let me also say this, that there's just something about being a little bit older and you get to like your 40s and you're like, I'm just not going to do that anymore. Like a lot of things. I'm not going to be fake to have that friend. I'm not going to, try to get that specific cup to look like a cool mom or whatever thing it
Mm.
is. I'm just not gonna. So I do have to say there's a little bit of age here going on. I was a huge liar about everything probably all the way through my 20s.
Oh
I
my
wanted to
gosh.
lie.
Tell me more.
I wanted to lie to get out of trouble. I
Okay.
wanted to lie to impress you. I wanted to lie mostly because I wanted all sides to like me so much. Right?
Mm.
So I lie to this person and I lie to that person. I just really hope they never get together and put my lies together. How I'm your friend and your friend, but you're trash talking each other, but I'm going to trash talk you both,
Totally.
like that kind of thing. So I
And
think
is
the
it like
self
lying
dis
by omission or straight up like,
oh no, straight up
here's
lying.
some
Like straight
untruths?
up say something that never once happened. And so with my mom
And then
having
justify it.
yeah, yeah, with my mom having passed away, there's some things we think are lies, but now that she's gone, we're like, let's just believe it. Let's
Oh
just
my gosh,
believe
that's
that
amazing.
she gave the Beatles a tour around Europe when her dad was stationed there in the Air Force. Let's just believe
I
that
mean,
was true.
maybe
I want it to
it's
be
a
true. No
super
one can
fun
ever prove it.
story.
I mean, I'm not gonna like call up Ringo and see if she did it. So so yes, there was like so much lying. And I think the self-deceit was in saying that that's not bad or wrong as long as you
Yes.
don't get caught. Getting caught is
Yes.
what's wrong. But as long as you don't get caught, you're okay. And
Okay.
I wish it was more altruistic, but honestly, it was from continuously getting caught that got exhausting and
Oh,
embarrassing. And then I was like, let's just stop lying.
okay. Without sharing anything you don't want to
Yeah.
share, a moment of getting caught. What
Yeah.
is that like? What was that like?
Oh, yeah. Like, so one of them would be because threes are big show offs. Like, my Instagram was a huge deal for me. I post back in the days when you'd post a picture every single day.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I'd like not want to do something with one friend and then post something with another friend. But it used to be for people who are not from the olden days, you could only post an Instagram in the moment. You couldn't take a picture and then upload it. You could only post to Instagram when it was in that moment. Yeah.
You were
That was
like
that was the
on
beginning of
the
Instagram. I'm an
front.
OG. I'm an
That is
OG Instagram.
amazing.
Yeah. Can you show off everything you're doing to your friends? Yes, I will adopt that. Yes. So I would go do something and I couldn't stand to not show it off. But I had lied about why I wasn't doing the other thing.
This
And then
is
I'd have
the best
a
example. This is so good.
yeah, and I'd have a friend like call me out on it or get their feelings hurt or, even like things like work. I might take a sick day at work and go ski and I can't if if I've had this conversation with Sean Palmer, if you take a walk in the woods, you don't take a picture of it. Did you take a walk in the woods for three? It's like, no, I didn't do it.
I
I did. If I
didn't.
don't show you I went skiing, I didn't go skiing. Who cares? I only ski to show off what a good skier I am, right? So
Okay, wait. Is
yeah.
this true? What's this like?
No,
To some degree.
yeah, to
There's
some
grains of
degree.
truth.
I now like skiing, but when I started skiing, well, Jeff is really, really good at skiing. Like, let me just say this. This thing he would never brag on. I like to brag on about him. Like, if we're on a mountain
Oh yeah,
at
you
any
should
given
do
time,
that because he does not.
yeah,
He
he does
so
not.
does not.
He's
So you
he's
should.
easily one of the better skiings on the mountain, and that includes ski patrol because he just grew up in Aspen and he's just super good.
That's
Beckett is
awesome.
really good. Augie's kind of tapped out on skiing, and I'm fine. I'm as
Mhm.
good as, I'm a good middle of the pack skier. So it's very hard to not be as good as your spouse when you're up there and
Is
to
it?
have,
I don't
oh,
claim
yeah.
that. That's awesome.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, because I want to go on the things he wants to go on and I want to keep up and I just can't. So, but I would love to show off that we're skiing and I make it look like it's the most fun thing we've ever done, even if I like tumble down the mountain and I'm super mad about it. So, through my desire to show off and do something that looks cool, I got kind of good at it and now I'm fine with it and I like to do it. But I won't go without taking a picture. I think if
That's
I didn't,
amazing.
I almost didn't run last night because my Apple Watch wasn't working. It's like, I don't want to run if I can't record it. That would
That
be stupid. I wouldn't really have done it.
okay,
So,
that's so interesting. What about just doing things alone? Or do you always kind of want to be
mhm.
with someone and they can kind of like,
Yeah, I don't always want to be with someone. Being
okay.
with someone,
Is that also part of
yeah.
aging and maturing though, or is that
Yeah,
always
it's a
been kind of
little
the
part
case?
of post-COVID too, to just be honest. I had to
Right?
adapt. Like, so when COVID started, this I think is very interesting because I have introverted, self-protective family. I really do. And they're all, I would say, sexual subtypes or self-pres. I
Hmm.
am just so social. And Jeff sat me down about week 3 of COVID, and he said, "You have lost your superpower. And I just want to acknowledge that. And you're going to really have a hard time."
That
And
makes me
I
want to
bawled.
cry.
Yeah, I cried so hard because one, it was very nice for him to see me in that, to
I was gonna
understand that.
say that's
Yeah,
like that's a
yeah, it
good
was
husband
huge.
move right there.
The excellent husband move. So let's give him a star on the side of
Let's
the
do
chart
it.
right here.
Let's do it.
But also, he was right. And it
Mhm.
was so hard for me. And we have a big empty hallway in our house, kind of outside of our offices. To put up every picture of every person we knew. I mean, seriously, there was hundreds of pictures. I started finding, I like to do art for a hobby, and I found all these old sketchbooks, ripped them all out, sent people all over the world sketches. I'm just like, if you want a picture, I think I had Facebook back then, and I'm like, give me your address, I'll send you some art. Like, I had to do all these social things. I was sewing masks by hand, those kind of things.
Oh,
And it was more to be
wow.
social because I knew if I sewed the masks, I'd get to take them somewhere, and I'd get to see somebody for a minute. And so when they asked the younger professors and the healthier professors at UNC to go back in person, Jeff's like, you're going, you got to go. Like, because you're wilting here. And the rest of our family's like loving it. They would go back in a second to
I
that.
almost would. I almost would.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I would.
so
I wouldn't
that,
really, but I loved it felt like no pressure.
yes. Oh,
And for
yeah.
you, it felt like no life.
It felt like, how when your computer won't connect to the internet, so you're like, what would I even do with this anyway? That's a little bit how my life felt. Is like a dead computer. So since then though, I got a little bit more where I could spend time by myself, and I
Was there
appreciated it.
something in you that healed or changed or whatever from the forced nature of,
Yeah, I don't know. I still like if a show comes up, if I'm watching an old TV show and it's a COVID episode, do you remember how they did those? They were like
yeah,
on Zoom or
yeah,
I can't watch it. That is where
you
my
can't?
PTSD come in because I'm like,
Wow.
oh, remember when we were alone? Remember when we were so lonely? I can't do it. So,
Wow. Do you remember during COVID watching something where people were just like
yeah.
touching each other? Like they would just be
Oh,
hugging or whatever, and I would just bawl. So I
yes.
was like, what is
Yes.
going on?
Yes.
That was so wild. Okay.
And very three-ish, I mean, we can cap the COVID conversation. I know it's not one everybody wants to revisit, but when they had, I don't know, a lot of people don't remember this, but they had America's graduation. Do you remember this? And Barack Obama was on it. And they just basically said, all the kids in America that didn't get to graduate, right? To me, it was actually the worst thing that could have ever happened to you is you wouldn't get a walk at graduation because that's your biggest achievement. And all those kids in America that didn't graduate, that broke my heart. And my university, this was super cool for 5 years after COVID. You could walk anytime. So if you didn't get a walk in 2020 and 2021, you got to walk any graduation and they gave you a gold cap. Oh, I'm like misty
That
about it.
is
And we would see these
incredible.
like little gold caps and think about these kids that missed the biggest thing, with their class. But here they are like so brave to go do it. And I was just like, oh, the gold caps. And they only ever did it for that. That was the only time you got a gold cap.
So
So I
there's
thought that was so
something
cool.
here that I just kind of want to pull
Mm-hmm,
out
mm-hmm. Let me
because
not
I
cry
don't
and
have this
drink of
as I
water.
know it's super profound. All of that is just like,
Mm,
oh my gosh,
mm.
what did we go through? We have not
Yes,
recovered,
it
is
was.
my personal
Oh, we
opinion.
have not recovered.
We
No,
are
I
a
have a kid
mess.
right now in my basement who can't quite get all the way out,
Totally.
just can't get all the way past it. Yeah.
It's, yeah, we could talk about that more.
Yeah. Yes, we could.
But what I want to pull out that I think is something that's really special about type three, because as a six, it's very easy for me to discount my achievements. In fact, I do it as
Mm,
a mental habit
mm.
automatically. And so
Don't
it's
do
hard
that.
for
Don't
me,
do
I know,
it.
it's hard for me to value others' achievements too.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
same reason, it's like that's not what's important. It's the journey, it's the whatever, whatever.
Yep. Yep.
But lately, there's been something about ritual that has been very, very important to me
Mm,
as a non-religious person to start to really build in ritual into my life.
yeah.
And one piece of that are these celebratory moments that mark achievement. And I feel like I've been very dismissive of that forever. And now I'm like, wait, these things really
Yeah.
actually matter? And it's kind of blowing my mind. So, what you're saying is just, it's really resonant with me.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
desire to mark these important moments. And especially as a culture, we just suck at so many things. And
We
like
agreed. Yeah.
celebrating people is one of them.
I
And this
agree.
is something I think three really shines in is the celebration of and uplifting of what is good in people.
I want to agree with you so much. And I want to say this is where threes need to go. As a mature three, as a three that wants to grow, stop celebrating yourself and stop bragging on yourself and start finding the joy in celebrating and bragging on others. And it's not like for all of our numbers, right? I can't just be like, hey, Kristin, stop worrying so much. Like, no,
Totally.
what that's first of all, everybody shut the F up about that. Like, stop telling numbers like what's so inherent in them to not do, and then
Oh
stop
my gosh. Amen.
like minimalizing it to that you worry. That's so
Because
cheap
when we say
for
core
you.
fear, we're not
Yes.
talking about some
No,
light thing. This is like, it's literally life
absolutely
and death
not.
to our subconscious. Exactly.
Correct. And
Agreed.
it's yeah, and it's valuable. And it's good, and like I love the grounding I have in 6 and 9. I have to
Yeah.
sometimes reach for it, but I actually love it. I love that there are things that make me concerned and worry. To use a cheap phrase, forgive me, I wish we
Yeah.
could get
It's
better
fine.
than worry, but
It's
but
okay.
to really dive into that sixth thing and get to where I'm like, I'm going to really care about this person, because I
Yeah.
feel like
Because
the
that's
sixes
what
in
it
my
is,
life
right?
care
Worry.
so much about me, and they want everything to go okay for me, and they want it even at their own expense, and they don't think about their own expense. They're just getting into like, how can they take care of me and see me and help me? And
Hmm.
when you're just so egotistical, like you need that piece of yourself and to find it. And the six can help you find it. So
I
TJ's
love
wife,
that.
Joni, is this incredible, beautiful six. And I just feel like so many times she could just care less about herself. She does not see or think about herself, but are you okay? And I made you this beautiful card and wrap this present in a way that makes you feel seen? And am I taking care of my students over here? Like, and it's like, my best self is like, let's be more like Joni, who's celebrating others and caring about others. But Joni needs to have a little more ego and like get in there and be proud of what she's doing too, So it's a great balance. And one of the things, again, this is just a little bit being older. So it's like also giving permission to people of all the ages where they're at in their
Yes.
path, is that I love to celebrate my students' achievements. Now I feel kind of like,
Mm.
I hate to say it this way, but I've kind of had all of my own. I don't know that I'm at like a terminal degree. I'm at working at a university. I hesitate to say if I'm going to say for the sake of the podcast. Like I got Teacher of the Year a couple years ago. Like I've done the things I'm going to do. Do you know what I
I
mean? I
mean,
got
thank goodness you said it.
yeah. I needed to. I was holding
And
my breath until I got to say it.
congratulations.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's a shorthand for the little award on campus I got. But I'm just saying I've gotten the things, and so pretty soon I'm going to feel really empty because there's not much more to achieve, or I have to make a big life change to do it. But if the achievements are genuinely about what my students are doing, and they really have become like, oh my gosh, you got into this graduate school. Oh my gosh, you're calling me because you got your job. So as they graduate, they all have my phone number. And when they get a job, they can't text me and they can't email me. They have to
They have to
call
call.
me and they have to yell about it. And they have to be like, I got my first job. And then they have permission and encouragement to text me brags. And they do. So they'll say, Cook, here's a brag that I wanted to tell you. Today, a kid gave me a note that said, like, I'm so glad that you're here. I really haven't connected with a teacher before you. And so it was a little bit of like a discipline to shift away from myself and my big old ego and everything having to be
Wow.
about me. But their accomplishments are mine. I'm living
Yeah.
vicariously through these students I got to have a hand in raising up and putting out there. And I think not all of them, I mean, not even a majority of them take me up on the send me a brag or call me about your job. But the ones that do, I think they need to do it. And teaching is a very humbling, humiliating, thankless job. It is, even with little teacher appreciations. And you just work so hard for students, and people don't know it. Students do not come up and say, that was a great worksheet you created. Like they don't do that. And you might have spent 10 hours creating this lesson and worksheet. So for them to have somebody to be like, I just made this lesson plan. I knew you would appreciate it. And I'm like, yes, I do love that. And I want to hear more and send me a picture. They get a chance to celebrate without feeling bad about celebration. I think so many people feel
Because
bad. Yeah.
our culture, it's such a weird thing in our culture, right? Because it's like we are very achievey, achievey, achievey,
Yes.
but don't be too proud of yourself,
That's right.
especially if you're female.
I was just gonna
Especially if
say
you're
it,
female.
especially women.
Especially,
Especially
yeah.
women. Yes.
And
And
so
women
we don't know
achieve
how to do
so
that.
much. Women do like 80% of the service
Oh my
on a
gosh.
campus, for example. 80%.
Any
And
institution that is
any
running,
institution, all the whole world. Yeah. And
I mean,
so like, but
truly.
we shouldn't say it. We shouldn't say it because,
Oh, we should just
and
be grateful to be. I don't know what we're supposed to do,
no,
but it
no.
pisses
But
me off. I'll tell
yeah,
you
me
that.
too. Me too. So I have made a shift and really worked to make a shift, just to make that clear, to say,
Okay, so
and
what's that work like? Can you just a little, like, what is that like?
a little bit of it, I think everything for threes is fake it till you make it,
And
show up
the
and
capability to do it. This is one of the things
yeah.
I love about threes is they actually show us like you kind of can just do shit. There's something in three
Yes.
that's like you
Yes.
actually could just do more shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, trust me, one thing threes unfortunately like disrespect is when people can't just do shit. To be honest, like I'm
Okay,
like,
and this just
just
you're
go
literally just
do a
like leading
thing.
the
Why
whole
aren't you doing
conversation.
it?
I'm like, yes, exactly what I was going to ask next. No, it's
I
perfect because that's where I wanted to go. What about people who aren't as impressive, maybe aren't doing things? Like, let's get your real thoughts on
It's hard,
the less
honestly.
achieving.
It's very hard. If I think that you are lazy or not living up to your potential, I have to dig to find a place of value for you. So I do, like I said, I'll put the ugly out there too, is that
Please, let's do it.
I really have a harder time finding if you're going to work hard, especially work hard for me, like my students, you're going to work hard for me. Now, I think I'm an equitable person where I'm like, I'm not going to grade you poorly, but I'm
Hmm.
just not going to want to hang out with you or like you as well, honestly. And so you work hard, especially work hard for me. I'm going to appreciate it. I'm going to love it. If I see you
Hmm.
being lazy or complacent, or to be quite honest, especially because being in college is just it's the easiest time in your life, but it feels like the hardest at the time. And then you realize, like, I
Man,
have the
that's
house
so
payment
true.
and children and all these things that just pile, and you mostly don't have that as a university student. And so I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear how busy you are, or how you need a mental health day, because you can't imagine how much I have on my to-do list and they have no clue, you know?
Yes.
And that's okay. Like, that's their stage of life, by the way. I didn't as a college student, you know,
Well,
and
and I mean, this whole idea too, let's just hang out here for a second because I'm curious your thoughts. This whole idea of taking a mental health day is very new. It's very
yeah.
new, right? Culturally,
I'm
we
a
didn't hear this.
I'm a Gen X, right on the millennial Gen X
Same,
thing too,
same,
just so you
same.
know, right there.
I'm right
So
there. So I'm
I
like,
don't have a lot of respect for it. I kind of take it. So I have 3 free days. You can have 3 free absences in my classes,
oh my
period.
gosh, that's brilliant.
But you can't have your free days and mine, so to speak. So students will be like, okay, well, I need a mental health day. The first thing I'll tell you is, again, I'm pulling back all the curtains here. I'm like, don't tell me that. I disrespect it. Just say I can't make it to your class. Do not tell me you need a mental health day. I want a mental health day. We all do. Shut up about it and get to class. Like, I get it. I just don't want to hear it. I take them myself. To be
Do
clear,
you
I
though?
value
Do
mental health.
you?
I absolutely do. Now, got to remember a mental health day for a three might look like doing a big workout and then cleaning the house and painting a bedroom. But that is like great for me to get to do my own things that I'm interested in. It's not a mental health day is never going to be for me lay around and
Laying
watch
around
Netflix.
and
That would make me nuts. A
okay.
lay on the beach vacation and read a book would make me nuts. I
Man,
couldn't do it.
okay.
So,
Okay.
not all threes. I'm sure there are threes that really like to get into that rest
I
space.
mean, I don't know that there are. I think I don't know.
Maybe they should reconsider their number if they don't want to paint a room on their day off. That's a thing worth
And then
noting.
take a picture of it and put it
Yes.
on
And then, oh
social
yeah, obviously.
to prove
If
that
you
it
forgot to
happened.
take the before and after pictures, you are not a three. Yeah,
That's amazing.
if you're not needing to brag about what you're doing in some kind of way, even if you're actively rejecting it, you might not be a three. So
Okay, but so mental health days, you're like,
mhm.
fine, take it, but don't say that
Yes,
to
don't
me.
say it. Don't say it. Just
Okay.
take it. And then they'll say, well, I got sick, or we have a field trip in my major, something like that. And I'm like, yeah, you get 3 days off. I'm
And
like,
you're like,
but I want these
whatever.
days and those days. I'm like, that doesn't exist for me because
Okay.
I've set up the standard. And I will tell you one thing I think is true about most threes and is true of me. I'm going to bring my A game every time. I'm never going to
Mm,
embarrass myself. So my class is going to be good. It's going
yeah.
to be prepared. It's going to be, I actually, because of the imposter syndrome of threes and the fear of looking stupid, I study so hard for my own content right before a class. Like, I'm never
Mm,
walking in without being very prepared because I don't want to look stupid. I
right.
don't want to look like I don't have it all together.
Right.
So I'm going to
So
bring it for
again, it's
you.
like the doubt
Yeah.
is there, but the
Yeah.
way that you deal with it is to just, I'm gonna just be
Yeah.
best.
Well, yeah, and I think this is where I think my five son and I really relate to each other. We're going to work so hard to show our competency and we're willing to put in the work and we don't really understand how other people aren't willing to put in the work. So, I had no knowledge of Enneagram in high school. I don't even know if it was really out there, but I will tell you that when you look back, you know how you can see these pieces of your number.
Oh yeah.
I legitimately didn't understand that you had a choice to not turn in homework. Like there were people
Oh, like
around me,
physically,
yeah, they
you
just
didn't
wouldn't
know.
turn it in. And I'm like,
Right.
no, it's assigned, so you do it. Now, I didn't always do it the best because it's a 3. I got it done.
Sure.
But I remember somebody like my junior year, this sounds so naive, being like, oh, I just didn't turn my homework in. I'm like, at all? I'm like, no,
It still sounds foreign to
yeah,
me, but it's
I
more of like
looked
rule
at,
following, not
yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's like, what do you mean? Because so my fear would be getting in trouble,
sure. Yeah.
and yours
And
is just like, I can't understand why you wouldn't
my
do.
fear would be looking bad. Like the teacher's now going to think that I'm not the star student or the one that she thinks I am, or, so my fear is actually I'm going to not look like I want to look to this teacher or my
Got
fellow
it. Got
classmates or
it.
whoever. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So I didn't
Okay.
want to
That's
look,
super
I don't ever
interesting.
want to look bad. I don't want a bad reputation. I don't want, for me, and I wonder if I dive into two-ness, I'm very close to 2. I have to be honest with you. I'm very close to being a 2. And I really want everyone to like me. But the reason I know I'm a 3 is I want to win at having them like me. And obviously
Right.
my aggressive energy, as you can see by me taking over this whole interview, which I don't mean to
I
do.
love it. Well, you're doing such a good job. I don't have to interrupt very often. You're doing it so
Thank you.
well.
See, you as a beautiful, wonderful 6, you know how to encourage me in my BS. So
Oh no,
maybe,
it doesn't
yeah.
sound BSy at all. Okay, okay, but let's
Okay.
I want to
Mm-hmm.
talk about outcomes
Mm-hmm.
when someone is kind of getting in the way of your
Yeah.
outcomes with
Yes.
that maybe with their feelings and their
Mm-hmm.
desire for you to hear all the details about what they're feeling.
Ooh. Yeah. So 4s are hard for me, and 6s can be hard for me in this way too,
Totally.
because they want to process that stuff. So
And they want to connect with you about what they're
yes.
feeling.
Yes. And they want me to care about their
They want you to
feelings.
care about it.
um, I often go into new situations and just announce that I'm a steamroller, but I don't want to be. And I really do say that. I'm like, look, I need to tell you I'm a steamroller. And I've also not just been a 3, but I'm in like a huge leadership position.
Yeah.
I am directing future teachers. They're going
Yeah.
to be leaders, and I'm the leader of the leaders. So I have put
Hmm.
myself in a place. I am a master's only lecturer, which for anybody who speaks university is very, very low on the pyramid. Like,
Okay.
I'm
The
not going to get to
academic
the top.
pyramid.
Yes, I mean, it's amazing that I even have a job at a university, to be quite honest. For anyone considering, don't try to work at a university. And also, you need to get a PhD, and you probably still won't get a job. So please just don't. They're a mess right now. But I am really at the bottom. Like
Okay.
I'm very technically at the bottom. And I act like somebody who's the dean of a college. I act like I'm at the top, and I kind of just I get to. And
So that would be
so
like maybe a happy outcome of quote self-deceit, is you're like,
yeah.
sure, this is the reality, but really,
Yep. And I kind of manifest some of that into being, to be quite honest. Like
mhm,
some of my leadership roles and things at the university, I'm just like, why not? Why couldn't I have it? I don't have a doubt that I can't have it. So I get to it because of that. And so and there was something in your original question. Can you remind me of it? Because
no.
I wanted to, I wanted to
When
say,
when someone with all of their feelings and all of their way is
oh,
kind of getting
yes.
in the way of you
Yeah.
getting the
So
outcome you want.
I apologize that I got tangential on me particularly, but
No,
I don't like people to get in the way. So this is a huge, huge thing with 3s. You better be efficient. And if you're not efficient, I don't probably have time for you because I'm efficient. I might have even just joined this team because joining teams is the right thing to do. I don't actually need you. I will do the entire thing by myself. And I
hmm
kind of prefer it, even though I like socialness. It's not, I don't need a social achievement. You are likely in my way.
Right.
And so that is why when I get on a team, I do announce that I think I'm going to be more of a steamroller than a lot of 3s. I think is why I went off on that tangent about being at a university and being in this leadership role, is
Yeah.
that I have like double the obnoxious confidence that most 3s would have because of that position and because of being in a place where it's education centered. And so you have these hierarchies.
hmm
So I think it's great if a 3 can say, tell yourself you're a steamroller. You're an aggressive type, 7s, 8s, and 3s. You
So
need
you
to know
don't
this.
mind that aggressive
No, I
moniker.
think it's
Okay.
helpful. I mean,
Okay.
I had an art partner for a long time. We used to do those little summer fairs. She's a
hmm
9. she loved it because I'm gonna, if we're, we're, first of all, we're not gonna be late, and I'm gonna make sure we're not late. And if we need to like get a refund or tell a customer no or have a different spot, I'm going to go and just tell that person who's running the art market, hey, we want to move our tent over here. This one's in the sun and we're not going to be here. She's never going to ever, ever, ever do that.
Oh
And
my
so,
gosh, that's like terrifying. You just even saying, I'm like, yeah, good job. How? You
yeah.
just do it.
So I actually think I appreciate about myself, but I appreciate about aggressive numbers is they'll defend everybody else and just do the thing that needs to be done or that's hard.
Yeah.
And we don't mind at all. And we even can see that as its own accomplishment. Like we're just going to go do the thing.
So
And
then
that
this
is good for
becomes,
other numbers sometimes that we'll just get it done.
so this, oh yeah, no, I love to tuck myself under someone that I trust who just gets stuff. I mean, I'm married to one,
Hmm.
so I'm like,
Yeah.
just
Yes.
let's, whatever you, in certain circumstances.
Yes.
Um, but so you're getting the thing done. If you sense that someone is getting their feelings hurt or irritated by
Hmm.
you or upset, is it the case that you can just kind of like whatever or what?
Sometimes I think it's always going to be the person. If
I
I
was going to say
have,
it probably depends on the
yeah,
person.
if I have bullied a person
Okay.
or because I'm in a position of power a lot. So
Authority.
I,
Yep.
yeah, I'm always 47 and they're always 22 and I'm always the one who has their grade in my hand. So there's no equality there and I have to know that. So
Right.
if I have and I got to say this honestly, if I've accidentally bullied you because it's very unlikely I've intentionally bullied you.
Mm.
I can be mean and I'm especially mean in my heart, but I've mostly shut that down because I don't want to look mean. I wouldn't like people to think of me as mean.
Is that
If I
different than not wanting to be mean? Like, is
Yeah,
there
I
a
mean,
difference?
I personally want to achieve not being mean. So I personally don't want to be mean. I don't think that's ideal. So, yes,
So
but I
good.
can be very mean. And so if I have accidentally bullied you, then it's completely on me to make it right and to hear you
Okay.
and to spend more time maybe listening to your feelings. If you are like really destructive or in the way of a group goal or something, then I have no time for that. And there are people of every number, and they're just going to be, they want it to be about themselves. So they don't really want to move forward and they don't want the group goal or the higher good or, God bless you all fours. But when a four spins out in their emotions and they just can't move forward and they're taking now where you could be going and they're just stopping it completely. Then
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have a lot of time for that, honestly. I can't, I
Right.
don't want to do that. But if I've done it, if your feelings are in there and it's just all of a sudden now I've been too forceful, like, hey, this program is not for you. You really shouldn't be a teacher. And I'm like, they're going to be so relieved. And then they just start bawling. This is all I ever wanted for my whole life. And then I'm like, Cook, too far. You're not listening to this person. You're not seeing who they are. You
Okay.
assumed you knew what was best for them. You don't. And then it kind of stops me in my tracks and causes all the calculations to start over.
In that moment, is it just, does it kind of go to a place like you just described of like, okay, start over, or does it get more shamey than that?
Hmm.
Because let's kind of
There's
rope in the
no, I don't
shame
have a lot of
piece.
shame. I don't have a
Do
lot of
you
shame.
agree with the teaching? I mean, this could be a
Yeah.
misteaching, right? That twos, threes, and fours, they've got the shame triad. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Shame for me is being embarrassed.
Okay.
And I'm going to do everything I can possibly do to not be embarrassed. So again, maybe this is a little bit of age or just time in this job. I keep coming back to my job because it's where I have the most
Yeah,
interactions like this.
totally.
I'm I might have miscalculated, but I did it with a good heart and with like a good formula, so I'm not shamed by it. I'm shamed
Okay.
when I showed up and I really wasn't qualified and now I look stupid. And I'm shamed when I say a joke and it didn't hit right and now I've offended somebody. Or I'm shamed
Okay, and
when
then what happens in that moment?
the feelings don't last very long. I try to fix it. How can I fix it? And how can I still win? So
Ugh,
everything is like I've messed up
okay.
and now how do I win? And then the win is more savory because I've messed up, but I fixed it on the long run. So I can win better if I can
Amazing.
fix it. Yeah. And it does not always work. There was a woman at our church. She really needed a friend. I overcommitted. Here's
Mm.
the liar three face. I would love to be your friend. I would love to spend a lot of time with you. That was a lie the moment I said it. I never
And you
meant
knew
it.
it.
I never meant it because I didn't really enjoy her, and I never meant it because I did not have time.
Right.
So, and so after a while of her kind of reaching out and trying to hang out more, and I did a couple of times, partly because I'm achieving being a good church member and a good Christian, and you should be hanging out with people.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of shut it down. And then I actually did, thinking I would win, have a conversation with her. And I thought, I'll be honest and therefore I'll win. So I'll say, you know what? I'm really sorry. When I said I thought we could be good friends, I was wrong. In the moment, I wanted to be, but like I have to be very honest with you. I don't have the capacity. And then I go, that's totally on me. So here's another way threes are winning. It's totally on me. And I really apologize. I'm doing it right, right? So I'm winning.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Yeah.
this honestly and correctly. She did not forgive me and she did not let it go. And she was so mad at me for lying to her and like putting this forward like we would be good friends. And she had put the effort in and I had not. All of this is true. I did it 100% wrong. But I was supposed to be forgiven and I was supposed to be let off the hook because look at my honesty and look at how
Mm,
I'm doing this interaction right and like I'm totally doing the mea culpa. I'm positive she actually still has not forgiven me.
hmm.
I have forgiven myself.
That's
But
important.
I can look at it and tell you this is something I did completely wrong and I never got it right.
Mm,
And now the best thing I can do is learn from it and not do it again. Is not promise friendship early on without a big evaluation time and like I really want to over promise and deliver everything. And so I never did that right. I was never right in that transaction.
and that
Um,
was based on just really in a moment, or
Wanting
maybe
to be
a
who she
short
wanted
court.
me to be
Yeah.
in that moment. She
Yeah.
needed a friend and she asked me to be this type of friend. And I wanted to be that for her, not
Right.
because of anything about her. That's the selfish, terrible three part, because that would be me continually just winning at life. I'm
Right.
everybody's good friend. I'm able to say yes to you. Um,
What
and
does
so
it take for someone to be a good friend to you? Like, what are you looking
Mhm.
for to
I,
get?
th- I think it's very hard to be a good friend
Yeah.
to me, partly because this is here already. Anyone who stayed on this long, they're in it, right?
Oh,
They're
they
in
love
it to
it.
win it with us, right,
They
Kristin?
love
Okay.
it. The back half is always
Mhm.
better
Mhm.
because we've
It's
spent
here
time
comes out the
together.
honest, the
Yeah.
tissues and the honesty. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think of very many people as equal to me in their ability to run and achieve and do things. And so already to be a peer is very difficult. You're
Mm.
unlikely to be my peer because you're unlikely to be as emotionally stable as I am and as high achieving as I am. And I need a peer to be a friend. So we've got to be on
Okay,
equal
that's
footing.
interesting. Okay, so that's the first part.
That's first part.
Okay.
And then the second part is because I'm a three and I live in the past and the future, and I absolutely ignore my feelings and hate them because they're inefficient and they can make
I
me
have
look
this
bad.
underlined to come back to. So you're doing it again. You're getting us there. Keep talking.
Um, I'm not, I don't even know if I can tell myself what I want
Hmm.
sometimes out of a friendship, even like a present. If you're like, Kelly, can I send you a present? I'd have a hard time telling you what I wanted.
Sure.
And so I I can't tell myself sometimes what I want. How am I going to tell
Mhm.
you and how are you going to really know? And then
And you're
if
like, so
we
people, it's hard for people to
yeah,
win at
yeah,
friendship
it's
with
hard
you.
for you to win because one I might outwin you. And then also, I mean, are you going to match my energy? You know,
Mm.
are you going to match my drive? And then are we so no is the answer. You're probably not going to match my energy.
So
Um
is it the case that as a friend, like, do you want to do things? Like, do you want to achieve things together? Do you want to go on the mountain and be competitive with each other? Like, hey, let's hang out and
Sometimes,
let
yeah.
me beat you down the slopes.
My two very best girlfriends right now are a two who's
Hmm.
an expert at the Enneagram and somebody who hates the Enneagram and won't talk about it with us
Love
and
it.
like loves to shut it down. And she might be a one or a four,
Okay.
interestingly. So we are between those two.
Okay. But she is
They
not between those two because she does not care.
She does not care. So it's all me and Jeff constantly trying to decide what she is.
Love
And
it.
we love her so much, but she loves to hate the Enneagram, which I think makes her more of a four. Like she's like entrenched and I absolutely will not do it because you guys and your stupid numbers, you
That's
know?
amazing.
So they are just so themselves with me. They are
Mm.
not trying actually to match my energy. They're not trying to, but they are so themselves with me. And so my friend Jess, who's the two, she can cheer me on in a way that no one else can do. Oh,
Mm.
now I'm getting emotional because she knows me so well. Like one of the things she knows to tell me is when I'm having a hard day with my neurodiverse kid and that I'm being a good mom. And she knows like really how to tell me. So she worked with adults with disabilities for a long time. So she not only knows like on my heart, and she's a mom, but she also knows because she's worked with adults with disabilities. So she does know what it looks like to be a good parent there. And so when she says it, she'll say something so specific. And that's what a three
Mm.
needs. They don't need good job, actually. And they need you to have noticed something specific. So
Mm.
she'll say something like, I'm just really revealing here. Like one of the hardest things with OGS is that I've got to back out. They are 20 years old. They've got to
Mm.
make good and bad decisions. They've been the gift of my life because they've helped me not be a parent that shows off because a neurodiverse eight is not going to show off for their mom. Let me just tell you that. They don't care at all.
Mm-hmm.
And Jess's big goal for me is like, you let Augie go to school or not, you let Augie do the homework or not.
Mm.
And when I do it, Jess is like, oh, you're amazing. I can't believe that you couched all of your own feelings in your need to achieve and you let Augie not go to school today. And you didn't say anything and you didn't get in the way. And like, that's huge. And Kimberly, the other one, is like, let's hang out and go to the thrift store and let's talk about all of these things. And she's a teacher too. She's an elementary teacher. Let's be teachers together, but like never is overboard about who I am or my achievements. It's just genuine. Let's be together. We enjoy time together. And her achievements are so huge in the teaching field that like, I just couldn't outdo her anyway. And
Mm.
so
You
her like
are
just
genuinely
yeah,
impressed.
I'm genuinely impressed. We're genuinely peers. She doesn't need more from me than I need from her.
Mm.
So so that's it is like threes maybe because we're so ingenuine at times and we don't even know it. The genuineness and knowing us and seeing us and
That's what
being
I was hearing.
specific
Yeah.
is how you love us. That was
Oh,
very long, but maybe helpful.
no, that was incredibly helpful. It is that part of like maybe some of the self-deceit is I don't need these tender things. I don't
Yeah.
need
Yep.
blah, blah, blah. Whereas we all have
Yeah.
needs actually. So
We
people who
really
can just kind of
have
ignore that whole
needs.
facade and
We do have needs.
yeah,
We do have needs.
because
So
that's part of
correct.
what I think collectively we sort of generally see in three to the negative is like it's not all that, right?
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of other things going on down here on Earth. And
Yeah.
threes are like, but are there? And we just keep being
Yes.
like,
Well,
yes,
and
there are.
maybe a little known thing, I would much rather have you see me being a good mom in a very specific way and notice it than to get another certificate with my name on it that says like teacher of the year type thing.
I
I
mean,
would
there it
rather have
is,
that. I
right?
really would.
Oh,
I still want you to see me and tell me what I'm achieving, but it's actually probably something so much more subtle and buried. And I mean, of course, we show up to the award ceremonies and we put the trophies on our shelf. Like we don't hide those because we
right.
do like to show you who we are. But when you were like, now I know you,
Mm.
that's really huge. And I know
And to
sixes and nines
be
relate to that too. I know that you do.
totally, totally. And it's similar in that I think there's very few people who actually know me. I just chalk it up to I don't think most people actually want to know other
I
people.
know. And they do. And they want to know you, you sixes. They want to know you and
You
your
know
true
what?
self
Listen,
is not a problem for other people.
no, I'm a six and I coach sixes, so I feel very confident in saying this.
Yeah,
That's not
good.
true. Sixes Sixes are not trying to deeply know people any more than anyone else. They're trying to figure out
Mm.
who
Hmm.
someone is,
Hmm.
maybe, so
Yeah,
that it's just not
that's
all
fair.
as.
That's fair. But I love sixes
I
because
mean, I do
I,
too, obviously. I spend
yeah,
inordinate
yeah,
amount of times with them, but I also will speak the truth about the inner world of six because that
yeah.
is my world.
Sixes are going to give me another chance. And
Yes.
I think I'm really afraid of not getting another chance when I mess up and like let you down or show you I'm not so cool. And sixes are going to really give you another chance. And I love that.
Sixes live for that shit.
Yeah, good. I see it.
Especially
I love
someone like
it.
a
I
three.
love it.
It's like, guess what? We are all human. Like that is where sixes,
Hmm.
I think, really thrive. Is
So
it's like,
good.
can we
It's
just
so good.
be human?
Yeah.
And that can be taken obviously to a non-productive extreme.
Yes. No, all of us. All of
Yes,
us. Oh my gosh. The steamroller side of three. I mean, I think of a stereotypical three as like a used car salesman. It's
yeah,
like the worst
a
of
million percent.
humanity. Yeah. So,
I do think that is the epitome of unhealthy three, is
hmm.
that like charlatan,
Oh,
used car
uh,
salesman. Yeah,
yes. And
totally.
we are talented at going there and we can
Mhm.
get our way by going there. So, a
And
thing
then
of
not
three,
knowing that sometimes it's really
yeah,
obvious.
or not caring,
Oh,
or being like, I don't
oh,
really
oh.
care that I went there. I got my way. And at the end of the day, that's what I wanted. So
That is wild. Yes.
yeah,
So even if you could see
mhm,
the fakey parts, that
yeah,
not bothering you.
yeah. Sometimes it doesn't. I mean, there are times I think we really care. The people I feel close with or admire them or want their friendship, oh my gosh, I want it so badly. But the rest of the people in my life or the periphery of my life, I don't care.
Right.
And so, and I
Which is
like to
also
get
really
my way.
helpful in something sixes. Sixes need to minimize the amount of people they are worried about
Sure.
how they're thinking about them. Like, let's
Yes.
make that list much smaller, like you
Yes.
just said. Because if we don't care what anyone thinks of us, we're a sociopath. Like, that's not correct.
Yes, correct. Right.
But
Right.
the
But
list should be small and it should have
yeah,
actual bearing on our lives.
a very freeing quote, and I won't know who to contribute this to, but a very freeing quote I read once is that other people's opinions of you are not your problem. They're not
Yeah. Or none
like,
of your business. Yeah.
it's none of your business. Right. Yeah. So I'm
Mhm.
just like, yeah, but no, I don't believe that.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
know,
that's
me
a
too. I'm
cool
like, yeah,
quote.
but
Cool
no.
quote.
Totally. Okay, okay. Let me see. This has
I'm
been
loving this. Kristen, let's
awesome.
have a podcast together.
Let's just,
Like
I
yeah,
seriously,
let's just you and me all day long.
we'll talk about whatever we want to talk about.
We
People
can
will
have some
love
guests
it.
too. Let's have some guests. And
Sure.
we can, yeah, I'm just
Let's do
teasing,
it.
but it's so fun. I'm really enjoying it. So thank you for the
Oh my
invite.
gosh. It's amazing. Okay, we're going to talk more about feelings. Feelings.
Yeah, let's do
I
it.
already feel like I've learned a lot. Like, I feel like what I've learned is I already knew threes didn't like their
Mm-hmm.
feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the fact, like what you just shared about your friends, was really revealing. So it's like they are there and they
Yeah.
can be
Yeah.
accessed, but it
Yes.
kind of has to be like an around the, like
Yeah.
a side door type
Did you want to say
situation.
around the circle to the
Yeah,
feelings? You did, didn't you?
around into the side. So tell me more. What's it like? Okay, here's what I want to ask. Do
hmm.
you think you don't have hard feelings, or do you notice them and you just kind of want to sideline them?
The second one for sure. Oh,
Okay.
I have so many feelings, but then I said this before, but I think this is my key to my threeness. Feelings are
Hmm.
inefficient. Feelings are in the way of getting things done. And so I'm very good at compartmentalizing feelings. In fact, one of the strangest things is a lot of teachers will say, "Oh, I was a teacher, and then when I had kids, I didn't even care about teaching as much anymore." Or I realized no, I never felt that way. I continued to go to school, love my students so much, like I love my own children more, but I
Right.
didn't have this like big shift. And in fact, when I am at school, the world disappears. When I am in a room with these students right here, I could have even been crying, had somebody in my office crying, have this super hard day, get in there with students. In about 5 minutes, everything has disappeared. My energy is up. I'm teaching. I'm great. I'm doing awesome. And
Yeah.
I think that compartmentalization of hard feelings is like very valuable to me because and it's actually kind of nice because then when I come back to them, instead of pushing all the way through them, they're a little easier to handle. So it's like truly I'll have a hard something, teach a class, and I'm like, okay, well now they're right sized, I guess. They're kind of how they should be.
But what you just said, I think, is very healthy for three, is you said when
Yeah.
I go back to them. I think
Yeah.
most threes are not going, like, what do you mean by that?
Well,
You're like, I remember that
yeah.
I was
I
sad
think
and
they creep
maybe,
back on me is what I want to say. Like I don't necessarily want to
okay.
revisit them. They're going to
Because I
come
was like,
back. So,
whoa,
yeah.
that's wild.
Yes. The biggest most impactful feeling that I have, I don't know if even other people would categorize this as a feeling, but here's how I can understand it, is the feeling that other people don't like me or I have let them down or looked bad in front of them. So we own a little building in town with a co-working space, Jeff and I, and we've had a huge problem putting in a fire suppression system. I don't even want to
I've
get
heard
into
of
it.
this
It'll be more
building.
tears. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been like a year And
Hmm.
we've had to do these things where for the people who are working in the space, we've had to like kick them out for a little while or ask them for this or do this or that. It has ruined my life. It has torn me to the ground that this has happened. I'm still like so anxious about it. It's hard to describe. I have also gone through my process. I haven't done anything wrong. I don't want it to be happening. You know what I mean? It's not even actually my job. And this was a very interesting thing for Jeff and I the other day because we can be a power couple like the 1 and 3 are called sometimes, but we can also just completely miss each other. And we try
Mm.
so hard to get back to what we know about each other's Enneagram number. Jeff is technically in charge of getting this pipe put in, but I'm the face of the business. I'm the one who meets and greets everybody and brings little treats and says hello and gets the rents. And so I'm like, the fun face and he's the hard work, which is how it should be. So I needed Jeff to tell me that there was nothing I could do to make this right. And there's nothing I could do to fix it because I was for months spinning out about letting everyone down at the building and how mad they must be at me. And I know a bunch of people listening are probably like, oh my gosh, who would ever be mad at you that a fire suppression pipe wasn't getting in and the city was causing trouble? But
Oh
I
no,
feel like
what you're describing is low
you get
six.
that.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
one
Yeah.
million percent familiar to me.
It's so my fault and everyone's so let down and they're thinking about it all the time and they're
Yeah.
associating it with me. And so I kept saying to Jeff, you need to say, because I'm like doing my job at UNC and doing all these other things. I'm like, you need to say there is nothing for you to do here. Here's what Jeff was hearing as the one. He was hearing, Jeff, you are wrong and morally bad because you haven't done this and you're letting me down. So instead of saying the only words I wanted to hear, which was, you don't have to do anything, Kelly. It's actually my job and I'll take care of it. And you're not. He would start going, well, I've called the contractor 5 times and I've done this. He tells me
Oh
the
my
list. And
gosh.
at one point I was like, you are not listening to me because this is a to do on my list that I can't check off that has gigantic emotional and relational repercussions. And
In
I
your mind.
can't check it off. And
Yeah.
we just couldn't hear each other for a long time because he's hearing me say, you are morally bad that this has not gotten taken care of.
And it's
So,
burdening you, which is like
yes.
he
And
does
he hates
not
that.
want that.
So
Yeah.
he's giving me a list. He never says like a
Because
yes or
he's
no.
defending himself to
He's
you. He's like,
defending
"No,
it.
Kelly, I'm
Yes.
doing everything." Oh my gosh, this is
So, but
so
we
good.
got there. We did get there.
How
But
did
I
you get this is
literally,
a master
because of,
class, people, by the
yeah, well,
way.
there
Like,
were tears and stuff. There were
well, it's very
tears.
hard to get out of our own way.
Yeah.
Tears,
And
you're
the
like,
number
there are
one thing,
tears.
there were, I mean, mostly me, no Jeff tears. Jeff gets mad, I get tears.
That's fair.
Um, I, the language of the Enneagram has saved our family, especially with our neurodiverse kid. And that is something if you want, I don't want to overtake time, but I would love to tell you about that has been number one by 1,000 that has been good for us. So I had to get to a place and it like was a light bulb where I'm like, oh, Jeff is a bad man in his mind because he hasn't done it. Capital B bad. Then that
Mhm.
breaks my heart immediately because ones are so hard on themselves. You
Oh
don't have
my
to be hard
gosh.
on a one. You don't have to be hard on a one. They are so hard on themselves.
You
They
do.
already
Oh,
know.
I wish I
They
would have
already
known
know.
that earlier.
Well, and I do too because I know let's cry for our husbands because
Seriously.
I I actually love to tell you how you're wrong and that's efficient and that's me getting the job done, and so you got to realize about it one you don't need to say it. So not only am I saying that, and I had said to Jeff like horrible things like this is the worst thing you could ever do to me is have this pipe not go in. I literally said that at some point earlier in the summer because you're going to embarrass me in front of all these people and I'm going to have to go and be like we're bad business owners. We don't know what we're doing and you're inconvenienced and so some light bulbs clicked and I had to think through his oneness.
Totally.
What is Jeff doing? What his
And
presentness
when
is
he's
very
in
hard for me too.
stress,
Yeah.
he's not
Yeah.
thinking. So
Of
he
course
can't
not.
hear
And he
you.
doesn't future problem solve. So like where I'm thinking every single week on Tuesday, you better call that contractor. He's only thinking of it in the moment. So I also had to get there. Like I'm going to be future past, he's present, present. That's a very hard space for both of us. It's great because when it's like time to go skiing and have fun, he's like, let's just be right here and let's ski and let's get the beer and
Mhm.
let's do it. And when it's like time to buy Christmas presents for the kids, I already have it done. So he's not doing it, like we're a good
Amazing.
balance in that. Yes, this is getting so long. I'm so sorry. But like
No,
truly, the
this is
number
great.
one thing was like, what is a one like?
Yeah.
And a one is having a moral failure and hurting the person they love most, their spouse. And I can't let him think that. But also, he needs to see me. So I had to say,
Mm.
My highest good is having everything checked off my checklist, and I can't do it. And
Mm-hmm.
it sits there and it hurts. Can
Mm.
you tell me about my checklist? And so for like 3 days later, Jeff would just come up and he would say, we're working on the pipe today. You don't need to know the details. Everything is off your checklist. And just kind of give me that, like, okay.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
he actually started going into the building more and doing more of the face in it, like people facing thing.
Oh,
So he's explaining and he's talking about it instead of
and took
everybody
something
texting
off
me.
your
He took
checklist.
it off my checklist. So he heard me finally, and I remembered who he was finally.
Hmm.
It took a lot of time, and it took some fighting, and it took some frustration, and it took some walking out of the room.
It
So
took something that was actually outside of both of your control, which probably doesn't
yeah.
happen that
No, it doesn't. We control it
frequently,
all. We control the world.
right? So
Yeah,
it took
yeah,
something
yeah,
that immovable
yeah.
to
Hmm.
get you both to that place.
Yes, it was huge though. And if we
But now
hadn't
you're
had the
better
Enneagram,
for it.
we'd
So,
never, thank you. Gold star. Ding, ding,
yeah,
ding.
no, gold star to both of you.
Yeah,
Seriously.
we would never have gotten there without the Enneagram. We would
Right.
never have gotten there. And that's why, you know, people outside, they can think it's Myers-Briggs or they can think it's a little culty. And that's a really unfortunate thing about how Christianity, evangelical Christianity has glommed onto it, is they've done a poor job, if I may,
You may.
for the most part. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, but I'm like, no, the number one thing is the language.
Yep.
Imagine you can't speak the same language as the people in your family.
Well,
You
that's what
all,
it
you know,
is.
yeah. And that's why it matters. And especially for our neurodiverse kid.
Go ahead and share. I want to hear.
Yeah. So Augie's 8, Beckett's 5, Jeff is 1, Mom is 3. So
Okay.
interesting, right? Because we don't share anything between the 4 of us, but we have tons of things between 3 of us. None
Hmm.
of the 4 of us share anything together, all 4, right? But there's all these other things. And Augie is non-binary, explosive, neurodiverse, brilliant, like literally past AP Calc in 7th grade
Oh
brilliant.
my gosh. What in the
Autistic,
world?
ADHD, 8, all the things, and then teenager, and then COVID. So, like, the fact that I am here is a miracle because the meltdowns we all had. And Augie and I are 2 big balloons that take up the whole room, and we just push Jeff and Beckett to the sides.
Mm.
Jeff has a little bit more agency, Beckett none. Beckett's
Hmm.
just smushed. And
Hmm.
Beckett became the third parent in this too,
Mm.
because you have a special needs child. The other kids will tell you, you know, go talk to your non-special needs kids if you have a special need kid and tell them thank you. And we see you and you're doing hard work and you should have never had to do this, but you're also amazing for doing it. Please tell them that because they need to hear that.
That's beautiful.
So Augie really started jumping in right away and studying it with Jeff. And now, you know, autistic folks can be a little bit face blind and emotion blind and things like that. And now Augie has a number to understand your motivation, and they know you better. And
Oh,
they understand who you are better, and they understand who they are better. They understand why they want to control
wow.
space, and they understand why they feel angry at injustice. And their 2 side is huge. Their protector side is just so huge. And to be able to like praise that. And we even have a saying in our house that your number is never an excuse to be an asshole. So you
It's
can
such an
say,
important
yeah,
sentence.
you can say I'm an 8 and I take up space, but you can't be an asshole about it because it's
So
not
good.
okay. Yeah. So we have these understandings, to understand Jeff and Augie both really want to control space, but Beckett and I don't. Huge, right?
Mm.
To understand that Beckett is probably going to have to do his own research on Augie. And to be quite honest, Beckett, out of the Jeff and I and Beckett is the most able to get Augie to do things and the most able to hold Augie to account. Jeff and I are way too soft and way too weak. And Beckett
And
is
the
the best
parents.
at
It's
it.
just
And the
different
parents. Yeah.
because that
So,
dynamic of parent child is so different
yep.
than peer to
Yep.
peer. Yeah,
But we all use
absolutely.
Enneagram language all the time. And in fact, Jeff will be like, it is mom's birthday month, not birthday day or week. It's mom's birthday month. We're getting together. We're planning because we're going to know who she is. An acknowledgement to her for all she
Oh
does
my
for all of us
gosh.
all year long is going to be done. And let's do it and let's figure it out. And they do it. Whether it's out of duty or love, they do it. I think it's
Doesn't
out of love.
matter,
It doesn't matter, but
honestly.
they do it. They know who I am. They know how I'm motivated. They know that if, for example, if I was getting an award, they better come. They better come see it because it really means
Mm,
something to me for them to come and see it. So,
that's wonderful.
yeah. So the Enneagram language that our family shares is huge for us to know and be able to share it. And like, it's a very good
Well, and you're
shorthand too.
using it in the way that I think it should be used, which is to really free people to be who they are, as
Yes.
opposed
And respect
to,
it and love it.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like the ultimate goal
Yeah.
is like, oh, can I
Yes.
actually appreciate? But at the
Yes.
very least, can we accept and
Yes.
understand
Yeah.
that it's not about us? I mean, if we could quit personalizing everything, because
Yes.
we're all just doing our own thing and
And
centering ourselves inside and in each other's lives in weird ways.
1,000%.
It's
And
just,
also let's stop judging numbers. Like this is where I have, again, huge empathy for six. I feel
oh, we
like
so get
six
the shit
is,
end of the stick.
you do, you really get picked on and
Yeah.
devalued. So people will be like, there's no better number than another number, except for 6 and 4. And they just get so misunderstood and so picked on. And I mean, I know
Do
it's
you
a
have a
little
theory
jokey,
about
but
that? I do.
I have a theory, like, well, the theory kind of goes with why threes and eights get so much praise that in America, being an aggressor
Yeah,
is championed. And like, it's harder as a woman aggressor, but like, that's what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be
totally.
tough and business and success and
Yeah.
in your face and Lamborghini, I think
And
for
then
sixes, the
fear,
honesty, well, I see it as honesty. The
the
honesty
sixth
looks
thing,
weak, and Americans like to attack weakness, especially because they don't like weakness in themselves. But it's not weak, it's just
that's
honest.
what it is. I think sixes, you just said exactly what I think. Sixes get just everybody's dumping ground
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
being afraid.
Yes. Because I don't
Like we're
like it
the
when I'm
only ones
afraid.
who are afraid
Yeah.
of things. It's like,
I'm afraid
no.
all the time and
Exactly.
I don't like it. So
Right.
let me project onto sixes that just must be terrible.
That's
But
exactly
it's,
right.
yeah, everyone is afraid. And sixes are honest. And for threes, at least, we don't want to be honest.
Sixes
We
are
want
honest-ish. Yeah.
to. Okay,
Sixes are
let's.
more about leveling the playing field. I will say that. Like they
Mm,
want everyone to be real and to be human, but they don't want to be it. They don't want to lead with that. They want other people to do it. So
mhm,
then they're safe to be themselves. So I'm always
mm,
telling sixes, like, we just have to be who we are and let the cards fall where they may. But we're like, well, I need everyone else to kind of go first, which,
mm.
so
It's
yeah,
hard to
that's
do because you have the example, So tell me more about leveling the playing field. I'm switching the microphones around here, but I really want to understand that better. Like, help me, because I don't want to level the playing field. I want to be the best one. I would never
exactly.
want that. Tell me more about
Exactly.
that.
So a six, that's why we fear tend to, it can be weird with threes because threes are so happy to be at the top. And we're like, well, if someone's at the top, someone's at the bottom. And I'm
Mm,
orienting to that bottom
mm-hmm,
person. I'm probably putting myself lower as well because
mm-hmm.
sixes are just not willing to kind of stand on their own. They're either going to attack or they're going to live at this like,
Yeah,
it's one up or one, and it's this
yeah.
constant thing. But I think there's this like, who's paying attention to the people at the bottom? Who's paying attention to the people who are suffering?
Mm-hmm,
Who's
mm-hmm.
orienting there? But the icky thing sixes do is it's like, so we should all, it gets real twisty real quick, right?
Get oriented at the bottom, you mean?
Yeah,
Instead
it's
of,
weird.
yeah,
Instead of,
okay.
because
Yeah,
but if you say that out loud, you realize it makes no sense. But that's some of the unconscious stuff that's going on. Because if we're
sure.
like, if we're at the top, then I should be thinking of who's at the bottom.
Yeah.
If I have something
Yes.
good, everyone should have that good thing.
Yes.
So I have a hard time accepting my own gifts and even my own life because not everybody has it.
Can I suggest that maybe there's a lot of tops and a lot of bottoms? Which is awesome,
Yeah.
by the way, as the LGBTQ teacher that I just said that into a microphone. You can cut it if you want to. But
No, I love
can I
it.
suggest that there's like a
Thanks.
top for this, but a top for this, but a top for that's kind of how I feel is there's not just one top and one bottom, and maybe sixes do feel that way. So I'd love for you to tell me more. But I'm like, there's a top in this space, but sometimes you're the bottom here. Like here's one thing. I don't mind being the
I do
bottom
that.
at singing. I'm terrible at singing. I love to sing in the
Mm,
car, in the shower, and like performing, and I'm terrible at it. I'm a good teacher, but if I one time ever was in a play because we had a student directed play at Frontier Academy, my little high school, one time ever, and I literally couldn't talk and walk. I could talk or I could walk, but I couldn't act and walk at the same time, which is very funny because I teach, but I couldn't do it. And I can't sing, and I don't care if I'm on the bottom of that. I'm okay to be and have people be at the top of performance. So I'm just curious about, can sixes have the idea that there's more than one top and one bottom, and sometimes they are at the top?
I think that's the sticking point is sometimes you're at the top. But then
Yeah.
when you are at the top, it's all disorienting. You don't know what to do with it because there's no sense of like,
There's no
haha.
oxygen up here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Or like someone's going to knock me off this top, or maybe I didn't actually get it. Just this brain just goes so bonker balls with that. Because I think you're right. And I think that's true. And that's part of how I just like
hmm
get through my life. But yeah.
Well, my six friends that are like in my mind is very six-ish and have studied and know. In my mind, there is sometimes some spinning out and some fear for sure. But
There
there's
just is.
so many more times in the things that I admire and I like gravitate towards and long for is this: I'm not afraid to tell you the truth about what I'm afraid about. I'm not afraid to tell you a mistake I made, or, and I'm not even, I mean, maybe they are taking it personally, but it feels like they're like, this is just information we share and I'm totally comfortable with it. And it's actually better if I've told you. And
See,
that,
this is
I
the difference
love
is we're
that. I
comfortable
love that.
sharing the lower side of things. We have a
Oh,
harder
yeah.
time sharing.
So interesting.
Yeah,
Well, I do appreciate the sharing because I feel like with me, I'm only going to share things that are impressive,
right.
including like a way I can reframe this even for this conversation is if I'm very honest with you and tell you something bad about myself, I have won because look at how genuine I'm being. So I'm
Totally.
impressive in my genuineness. It
Yep.
always has to come back to that. If it were genuinely just terrible about me and there was no spin that I could
Redeeming
give,
anything.
I wouldn't do it. I don't think
I
I could
can
do it.
really relate to that. I think I've worked very hard on reaching into three, the high side
hmm
of three. So I can really relate to like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm so genuine, or I'm so, like, but even as I'm saying it, I'm like, "Ugh." Like I start to literally
See,
physically
I can say it
reject
like
it.
without even, I am so genuine, everyone. I am the most genuine it doesn't even hurt me a little bit to say it.
And I literally start to like twitch and be
Even
like,
me saying it, like,
backtrack, backtrack. Oh, that's
this is
amazing.
why it's so important that when you're young in the Enneagram, you study your number a lot and you really
Yep.
know it and you really see if it's right. And you say, if you're 5, 10 months in, 2 years in, and it's not your number, give it up.
Give it up.
Sometimes you're wrong.
Nobody
You got it.
cares.
Nobody cares. But then you got to start studying everyone else's number with like
Mm.
a passion because you've got to see who they are and care about who they are.
Yeah.
And with myself and my six friends, sometimes we've been really much more obsessed with our own number than other people's numbers too. We
I
want
mean,
to
of
really hear
course.
about ourselves. So I do love like now kind of my first way you got to know is like I go 158. That's the first numbers I'm going to read because I
Mm-hmm.
have to have a person associated with them. And since I've got my family, but then
Yep.
I'll get to the 2, best friend, I'll get to the 4, best friend, I'll get to the other
Totally.
numbers, but I have to actually have a person I'm caring about to care about that number. But it's so important to know. And we even in my teacher program, Jeff and TJ came for a couple of times. It got very detailed. And so I kind of cut it and took all their material and stole it, which I feel like I have a right to because I have put up with all of their stuff and all of their recordings and getting kicked out of my own house for years. So I have stolen their things and I've made my own
That's
worksheets
amazing.
with no credit to them whatsoever. But I teach teachers now that you have 9 types of students. I don't tell them Enneagram or numbers. I don't. And they are motivated, and most of them are motivated in 3 major ways. And then I just want them to know because one, if you're a 3, you think everyone wants a star chart and you might put your classroom together like, let's all get a star chart. And that's incorrect. And you won't realize why aren't they motivated by a star chart?
Totally.
So, and if you are really motivated, and I can't think those are the good ones. And I think if they can just understand the very basics that you'll have some students motivated by like you and some that are not,
Yep.
it's incredible just to get to that level too with them, that
I
they understand
completely
when I
agree.
get in here, that student needs to be known and that student needs their emotions to be validated and that student needs to feel safe and that student needs to be able to find places of rest. And this student wants a control space, all the things that we can go through.
Is what you're describing even some of three? Like your ability to like get the lay of the land
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
like let's make it super efficient so it's useful. Like even
Yes.
as you're saying it, I'm like,
Has to be
yes, that
useful.
sounds
Yes.
very
Well,
three-ish to
if we
me.
had
And
weeks and
very
weeks to
relatable.
work with people, yeah, if we had weeks and weeks to work with people, but it gets to be a single 2-hour lesson and then I have to go on to something else. We still have to teach about other things like special education and things. So I can't
Well, and for
stick
me,
to the
I'm
Enneagram.
always about how is this useful? How is this practical?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I can be talking to Jeff and all of a sudden I like I glaze over.
I never have done that.
And
Never.
I'm just like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because it's like, and then this center and the theory, I'm
Yep.
just like, I don't know what just happened, but I don't know how to
Mm-hmm.
apply what the heck
Yes. Yes.
we are
Yes.
talking about. So
Yeah.
I, for myself, I go in, I get stuff, I go
Mm-hmm.
out because
Mm-hmm.
I'm always like, well, how do we apply this with the human beings?
Yeah. I'm even
I'm a coach first teacher only because I kind of have to
no,
be
I
by,
love it.
yeah.
I love that. I'm with you on that. I am even more obnoxious in the fact that we have, as you can imagine, all of the books in our house. We have the Riso and Hudson and all the things. I text those two and I demand an immediate answer of like, where fours go in stress. I won't even go look it up. I want immediate from those two. So I use
Well,
them as
that's
my
just
own
fair.
personal chat
That's
GPT.
an
Yeah,
efficient
that's
way
fair.
to, no, that
That's
just makes
fair.
good sense
Thank
to
you.
me.
Thank you. Good. It's
But then they'll
it's
be
on the
like, yeah, and
record.
that's because this center and this
Hmm.
time and da da da. It's
Yeah.
like,
And I'm
oh,
no, and I'm like, nope, tell me the direct answer right now. Yeah, I boss them real good. So
I can also value efficiency. Okay, okay. Let's find a way to land this plane.
hmm
This
hmm
is just so much
I,
fun. Let me see
thank
if
you.
there's
I've had the
anything on
best time.
my question list. Is there anything that you are dying to share about threes that you feel like you haven't been able to get out thus far?
I I actually think this about all numbers, especially if I see like a meme on Instagram or a little clever, you know,
Yeah,
nines are this, threes are this. I hate all of those for threes, and I bet most people hate all of those for their number.
absolutely. I could
Stop
not agree more.
frickin' stereotyping me into this box of threes love achievement, and they want to have a Starbucks in one hand and car keys in the other, and they're marching forward with this. And I'm like, let's maybe just quit. This is so mean because I have friends who do it for sure, but like the Instagram meme of Enneagram gets to be a little bit funny or a little bit true, but it's not the truth about us, any of us. Like Beckett, full on. If I used to send Beckett some things I thought were cute about fives, and he literally was like, Mom, stop sending me these. None of these feel like they represent me. And that's the thing. It's like some of the things I will absolutely readily admit, like threes do like achievement, and we are, go, 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 and we are, but
Cause you would like a coffee, probably not a Starbucks in one
Uh,
hand,
I
and
I probably will get one immediately after this because I said it out loud. So just saying, I will probably go get one. I do, yeah, and I want,
you know what
I
I've learned about Instagram?
yeah, yeah.
So sad. Those are the posts that everybody wants the most. Like I'm on there with my like
I
deep content and my
know.
teaching
No,
content and my
they
this
want
and
the
that.
pithy,
You know,
stupid.
the
Yeah.
people want, and then I did one that was like haunted houses for Enneagram 6. That was like my most like post
hmm
since the
hmm
last time I did that post.
I love, I know. Yeah, so I mean, if they're this far in with us, they're doing the work, which is awesome. So that's what I guess when I talked about my two best girlfriends, they've
How do
done
you
the
know you're
work
not a two, by the way?
because I want to achieve friendship.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean it's
And you're
close.
happy to center yourself in
Yeah,
conversation.
yes. But I
Yes,
see the two side. I see the two
totally.
wing real big. I'm not super huge on wings, but I see the two wing.
Yeah.
I just one, my aggressive personality is very not two. I just aggress
Twos are so,
everywhere.
I don't know. I
Mhm,
think this is a miss on twos. I think they're
mhm.
very aggressive. Yes.
Interesting. Yeah.
In their
I'm
way.
yeah, in their way. But
Anyway.
I'm outwardly like, yeah, no, no. I mean, it's a good question and I've really thought about it.
Hmm.
I also I love the achievements. Like the first year or so I was on campus as a professor,
Hmm.
I like got all of these blazers. I got a briefcase because I thought that was a
Oh
professor.
my
And I
gosh, I love
literally,
it.
it was like there was a song playing in my head walking through the leaves on the campus. I felt so special. I constantly want to tell people my achievements and my resume. At this
Yeah,
little
that's
competition we were at this weekend, the first person who introduced themselves just said, my name is Molly and I teach here. And I was like, oh, because I want to be like, my name is Kelly Langley Cook and I'm the director of social studies education because I want to tell you my frickin'
so
title and I
you were
want you to
bummed that
call
they
me
didn't set the
professor.
stage for
I
you
was
to
so mad that
win.
it was not, yeah, I had to follow suit and just
Oh,
say, I teach
did you have
here.
to follow suit because you're like, okay, that's the model. Now I have to do, because why not just,
I had to follow suit because I'm outrageously socially competent and I know to do that or else you look like a jerk. And I don't want to look like a jerk. And I really, the chameleon side is so real for me. I'm going to
yeah.
match your energy. I'm going to match what we're doing here.
So is that do you think that's more the case for social threes? Like, do you think
Probably, yeah.
a three who's maybe least mature in social is maybe going to be just not able to do that as much?
Yeah. I don't know what I mean, I think I know one self-protective three. That's a
Hmm.
hard thing for me to think about.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, it's definitely the social too. And it's definitely just like, obviously you're a six, I'm a three, but I'm Kelly and you're Kristen, and there's something to be
Exactly.
said for that too. And we're going to show up in the
Exactly.
world as Kelly and Kristen. And Jeff will even say, when he's talking about threes, he has to try to think about other threes he knows and not me,
Oh,
because he
it's the
doesn't want
worst
to
with people
just,
you're close with. It
yeah,
really
frame
is.
out. Yeah, your husband is the one, I'm sure it's the first person you frame out as the one, right? In your mind.
Yeah,
Or
but
is
then
it?
I'm like, but and then I'll get confused. I'm like, but is he? Because he's this way, because he's this way.
Yeah.
I personally am very interested in trifix. So
Mm-hmm.
I do a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the like, oh, that part doesn't make sense, but it makes sense because of this and
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Like
Yeah.
I go into some other theories, but it's hardest sometimes with the people you're closest to.
Yeah,
Although you
agreed.
gave us a great example of how to really use it with people you're closest
Well, good. See, star, 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 star.
to.
Um, yeah, I want people to know that it's the stereotypes are wrong.
Right.
They're not completely wrong. They might be a good starting point. And in
Yes,
fact, I did
that's
get
it.
to like read Jeff's book early, and go through some of them, and I've absolutely fought some of the things he said and said, don't say it this way or whatever. And
Yeah.
you can only take that so much, and then you need to be the writer of a book and put down your words the way you're going to do it. And that's obviously not me, but I'm not the only three in the world. I can't acknowledge that.
Right.
Maybe we need a support group of threes that can acknowledge we're not the only ones. But
Unlike
um,
Force. Force can't do
yeah,
that.
they can't. No,
Just kidding, Force.
they would
They
all
don't
want
care.
to
They're
show
like, yeah.
up, but they would actually get under a blanket and get some tea, and they wouldn't show up to that meeting. See, stereotypes, it's not fair. It's not fair. So, yeah, so like
It's
the
not fair,
achiever
but they can
side
be
or
fun.
whatever, it gets overblown. So, a great place, I kind of mentioned this earlier. TJ and I have kind of come full circle. TJ would really say, I think out of love, you need to rest. You need to not do all the things you
Oh, I'm
need to.
so glad you came back
Yeah.
to this. Okay.
Yeah. And at one point, I was like downright mean. And I'm like, stop saying that to me. That's you projecting you, and maybe even you feeling guilty about being a nine that's not always achieving all the things. And I don't want you to tell me who I am, because if you tell me, stop being your achievements or you're more than your achievements, which people think, I mean, that's on a lot of those memes.
Oh,
Threes, you're more than your achievements.
totally.
You know what? Shut up about it. It's actually really demeaning to tell me that, because I am more than my achievements, because I am all of the personality and love and hard work and talent that went into that ultimate achievement. And it's the way I
Mm.
love to show you who I am, and it's the way I want to show up in the world. And so I actually never want to hear you're more than your achievements. It doesn't appeal to me or make sense, but it's also not necessary. I'm not sitting around with a crisis of self saying, gosh, if someone could just think I'm more than my achievements. What it actually is, gosh, if someone could just see why I want to do these things and
Hmm.
how well I'm doing them and how it means to me that I get to show you who I actually am through this,
Hmm.
instead
So
of saying,
you do think you are
yes. And
the
I want people to,
person who puts out the achievements. You're
I
like,
am,
no, I'm not different from my achievements because I am the person who
yeah.
achieved.
And I want to be my achievements. I
Right.
love what I do. I'm doing it intentionally, and I'm doing
But
it to like show you me.
but then also your journey around somewhat decentering that and shifting that to your students.
Yeah.
So it's
So,
almost like it just became more. It's like you didn't have to
mhm,
necessarily decenter yourself.
yeah.
It's that you opened up and expanded who can sort of, you can be happy
Yeah.
celebrating the achievements of. Is that
Yeah, because I got
okay
to
with you?
have a hand in them. I mean, I feel like I got to be a support system. So exactly right. Like such, I might need to think on it a little bit, but that's exactly right. Is that I need to expand it, but not stop it,
Yeah.
because I am my achievements and I want to be, but how about this? My better achievements are what I invest into other human beings and what they're able to do,
Oh, that's
better
good.
than what I invest into me and what I can do. A better achievement is raising this good human being, is helping this person to, sometimes through hard love, to like do better in their classroom, to really push somebody on paper writing. That's a better achievement when it's
That's really
about
good.
someone else.
That's really, really good. I almost feel like we should
Thank you.
close on that, except that
That's,
I do want to talk a little.
I mean, I'll talk all day.
I'm like,
Besides
that's
it, I don't
perfect.
know if the microphone
Oh no,
can hear my
we already went
tummy
over time. Okay,
growling.
last
Did you hear
question.
my tummy growling?
No, this is so good. Okay, I do want to talk about rest.
Yeah.
When I say the word, are
Active
you like,
rest.
ugh, or what do you?
No, I just want to acknowledge active rest. And I think that comes in probably for several people. So if we took even the Enneagram out of it, there are people who want to sit by a beach and read a book, and that's so restful. And maybe
Yep,
that's because of how the world comes at them and how the world assaults them. So they get kind of an isolation from the world.
yep,
And then there are people who like actively rest. They want to go to the museum and they want to see things and they want to. So
totally. Ooh, I like
probably
this. I
if
like
I
this.
passively rest, it gives me too much space to think on problems or doubt myself or whatever. And I'm not really interested in that.
So I know, but
So,
hold on. Is there
yeah.
no part of you that's like, maybe I'm out running something? Like, is
No,
there like a running away from something?
I don't feel that way. It might be.
Fair.
I'm willing to acknowledge it might be, but it doesn't feel like that because of
And
all
it,
things I feel like I tackle everything. I don't feel like I run away from it. I do the hard things I have to do. I have the hard conversations and, I'm the kind of person that like this morning before our interview, I got up and graded all the things I did not want to grade before it
so you
because
got a task done that you didn't
I
want
got a
to.
task that I didn't want to do. So I'm really not an avoider in any kind of way. I'm like going to dive head in
Right.
because avoiding is going to leave it on my to-do list and it's going to bother me.
Yep.
So I like active rest. I like going to work out. I like going
Okay,
on a
what if
trip.
only a
Yeah.
six could ask a
Mhm.
ridiculous
Ask
question
it.
like this?
Ask it.
What if you were physically,
Yeah.
like, what if you tore your knee
Yeah.
or, you know what I mean? What if you were like literally laid up?
Mhm.
What would happen to your brain?
Yeah. If I am sick, like if I have the flu, I will sleep all day with no guilt. I
That
usually
doesn't
listen to
count
a
because
podcast.
you have a
Okay.
fever and you
If I
can't think.
tore my knee, I would figure out something else to do. I'd lift weights with my arms, or I would paint, or I would draw, or I would
Okay.
not. I would let myself not run, although I'm really bad at letting myself recover the whole way. I really do like to work out. It's like my thing. I'm like a little gym rat.
I love it.
Um, but I
So you
would,
would stay physical some
yes. Then I'd be
way.
like, oh, look, there's an arm machine thing you can do. I would not be unphysical.
And what I hear you saying is kind of even maybe like a request of like, and just let some of us be that way. Because I do
Yeah.
think, particularly, like, I took this trauma informed Enneagram certification, which was
Mhm.
amazing. But I did at one point, I said, it kind of sounds like we are bashing competency in this group because
Yes.
not
Yeah.
all competence or doing things well or achieving is actually just a trauma response,
Yes.
which
No,
is
agreed. So
kind of
here's,
what and
you
it
know,
was not agreed that that's what we were doing in the class. Okay. So this
yeah.
is still but I'm like, I'm right. I was there. Anyway, so I do think there's a certain, in this whole spiritual realm,
Yeah.
where we can not value competency. It's almost like we take the culture and we try to invert it, but we take it too far, maybe.
I completely agree. That was like six really cool things. We do have another hour. Just kidding.
I know, right? I know.
L-
We will talk
I'll,
again.
yeah. I hope we do.
Mhm.
And we gotta hang out. Like I
I know.
really need to meet you,
He
and
comes
maybe
to
we.
Colorado a lot. We have family
Yeah.
up there. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Next time we will for sure hang out if that doesn't
We
get in the
drove,
way of
my
the
husband and
family.
I were doing a little tour of the towns and I waved to Greeley. I was like,
Yay!
hi.
Thank you. We felt it. I knew it. This is where numbers are numbers, and Kristin is Kristin, and Kelly is Kelly, and that's the most important thing. So the
Yeah.
reason Kim and Jess are so good at being my friends is because they actually know me. So they would know when I'm going to work out and get all sweaty and everything, it's because I'm too stressed and I have too much, and they're going to find that and they're going to acknowledge it. And then they're going to be able to see when doing that is exactly right for me. And Jeff's going to be able to see it too.
Mm.
And so, like yesterday, I really want to go for a run, and it was very, very dark outside. And I was
Oh,
just, we could also get into a whole thing about being women and our numbers and our things. So, having to explain to a 6'2", 220-pound, very muscular person about the safety thing of women. Like he knows now, but I had to explain that early on in our marriage about
oh my
him not
gosh.
understanding what it's like to always have to think about where your physical body is
Yeah.
compared to men's physical bodies. Like
Yeah.
there's why we are worried. But
Hold on. Have
anyway,
you ever heard this? Have you ever heard men's biggest fear of women is that they will reject them, and women's biggest fear of men
yes,
is that they will
yes,
kill them?
yes,
This is what we're living
accurate.
with. Yeah.
I know. And that men don't always understand women being afraid of men.
No.
And that
No.
we have a constant, so all men I want you to know we are constantly watching everything in our life, from where are our car keys to who's in the parking lot with us. For our whole life, we do that. So
Yeah.
please be a safe, good man and help us not do that.
Yeah. And signal safety in whatever way.
Yeah, signal safety. So back to,
Anywho.
no, sorry. But I do want to say,
Oh,
I do really want to say this about the resting. You need to know me, and you need to know. So last night, Jeff was like, he could just see that I was kind of grumpy and tired. And he was like, I'll walk the dogs to campus with you. Campus is well lit. It's got all those emergency phones everywhere. It's great. He's like, I'll walk the dogs to campus with you. You can run up and around the library and back and to get us, me and the dogs, you know. And I'm like, well, that's going to take like half an hour. He's like, no, that's great. He could see. Actually, I think that the kind of the stress and grumpy was like the Monday scaries, you know what I mean? And all the things. And so he knew, like, yeah, physical thing for her right now is right. I was set in such a good mood when it was done. It was so fun to like run in the dark and, you know, and so that was
as opposed
very good.
to
As opposed to
you need
like,
to go to bed.
she's getting like ones really get extreme in things. So like, are you going extreme because of this? So yeah, so that is, you got to know your person. That's, I guess, what I want to say. And you got to know,
Yeah.
is my person overdoing it or not? Are they happy in this rest? Are they happy? I mean, I'm making the example of painting a room because I do it all the time. I paint a room on a vacation because it feels really cool to have a new, fresh space that I put together and I can see it.
My husband does this stuff. Sometimes I'm like, is he a 3? He's not, but he's got some 3 vibes for sure.
I mean, that's big 3 vibes. Yeah. But he's making it right. He's painting it to make it right. I'm painting it because it's fun.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's it. Know your person. Don't assume that someone's behavior almost in any space is because of a number, because of excess of a number. Or I think it would be really silly if my close people thought that my working out was me being an overachiever. My working out is because my job is a lot, and it's a thing that I get to do for myself.
Well, and as middle-aged ladies,
we have to keep it up. We got to keep it tight, ladies. Keep it tight.
I was going to say put on muscle, but sure.
Well, I was going to say get in that bikini lifting competition, you know, so we look good. Look at us. Put on muscle,
things I will never desire
we don't have
to do.
Osteoporosis, so we're strong for the future. That's
there
a 6.
Go.
And then me, I'm like, can I get in this bikini competition? I'm not gonna. Just to be clear, I'm not at that level. If people are watching the YouTube or whatever,
I'm going to be looking for that video. It's going to be amazing. Okay, I think we're just going to have to end it because we could keep talking.
But we're going to get
forever.
together again. We promise to get together
promise.
again. Right?
This was so fun. I also love your space there.
Oh, you have to.
So pretty. Oh my
so
gosh.
Once upon a time, this was our bedroom, and we said, why don't we make it a cool, like, gothic guest room it's a little messy, but isn't that fun? I love this room.
You are so
Jeff's
cool. This is why
Jeff's
I knew
office is
I
right
wanted
down
to
there
interview you.
in the pit of despair, and I get the really cool office, and he's down the stairs. Because of course I do.
Funny.
Thank you. It's very nice. Yeah, it's a very lovely place to work. So thank you, Kristin. I had a blast.
This was awesome. Gold stars all around.
Hey friends, it's Jeff. We're entering a new season. We have started 4 new podcasts on this channel and are working on our second book and hoping to elevate more voices in the Enneagram world over the coming year. If these episodes are important to you, there's 3 things you can do for us. First, you can buy a copy of our first book, Around the Circle, on Amazon for yourself and your 10 closest friends for Christmas. Second, you can review that book or our podcast with a note, 5 stars. This really helps people find our feed. And best of all, you can go sign up as a member at aroundthecircle.org. Even free members get half of the stuff that we post there. So go. Books, stars, memberships. This will allow us to create great content for years to come. Appreciate all you all. Appreciate your notes of encouragement, and may all good things be yours.